right, let's see if we can get this thing working here. So I want to get the stream. Okay, it shows me as live, so that's good. All right, I think we're getting there. I just got to click there. Yes, watch now. Let's go back over here and drop this in here, and yeah, I think we're good. Drop that in. Where did I don't even know where I just put that. I'm dropping the link in various places, and I don't even know where I just dropped that one. So that's a thing, but that's fine. I guess I can put it here. Cool. All right. So we're good there. We're good here. Stream is up and running, and we are good to go, I think. So we'll give it a second here, and hopefully we'll get some visitors. We are in year 5. Is that right? Year 5? Year 5. Yes, because we took over in 2021. And yeah, so you can see we've gotten significantly better year over year. So at any rate, my name's Aaron. Thanks for coming and hanging out today on the GM Games channel here on Twitch. I run the YouTube channel out of the park. Yeah, I run the YouTube channel Around the World Sports. I'm gonna drop my link in the chat here if it allows me. Give me a second. Hey, there I am. All right. Cool. That sort of worked. Worked enough. So you can go to that link, drop me a subscribe on YouTube. That would be great. I'm fairly new to this. Only been, I think this is my 3rd stream. And I've only been making videos for about a year or so. Started about a year and a half ago, paused back in, I don't know, September or something, and then started up again at the beginning of this year, and was lucky enough to be approached by the guys over at GM Games and asked me if I wanted to do something on their channel, so I did. Yeah, so at any rate, we are at Thursday, May 1st. It's 2025. We are 13-13, which is frankly quite a disappointment when you talk about. I appreciate that, Chris. Thank you. Figured I would drop the links in the various places as well. I hope you had a good weekend, by the way. Yeah, I'll have a good one. I hope you had a good weekend. I know you said you were out of town for the weekend, so I hope you had some fun. Yeah, so I had mentioned that we were 13-13 this year, we're coming off of a 99-win season. So to be 13-13 through 1 month is a little disappointing, but hopefully it's just an early season slump. Thanks for jumping in as always to make sure everything is going off without a hitch. So far so good. I mean, it's only been 2 minutes, but so far so good. So we are 13-13, and it's all been because of our starting pitching. Offensively, we are a machine. top in runs scored, really first in every offensive category except for stolen bases. Even our bullpen has been really, really good this year, third in bullpen ERA. Really, it's our starters. Our starters have a 6.25 earned run average through 26 games. Yeah, and there are two teams that are even worse than us, as there are 16 teams in the National League, so we're only 14th. My goal for this evening is to get up to the trade deadline. We will see how that goes. It's only a couple months away, and if chat is quiet, I'll just sort of sim through this like I normally do on my recordings. So, yeah. So I guess let's get going here. So we are playing the 3-23 Oklahoma City Argonauts. They are in, I don't know, I think their fourth season or something like that. Third season, fourth season. Let's look. I got nothing else going on. Team history. Third season. So 63 and 99 followed up by a 68 and 94 season. And this year they are 3-23. So yeah. So we won the first two games of this series. We should also take this one. So let's get this sim started. So first game of May. Hey, Breeze. We win 10-7. And yeah, Breeze, first one in chat again. I appreciate you jumping in. How was your week, man? Did you have a good week? Or, I guess, woman? I don't know if you're a male or female. So how was your week, human? Mine was quite good. I got back to doing some exercise that, yeah, well, Chris is always in the chat first just to make sure it's working, and then he bounced. But, yeah, it was a good week for me. I was able to get back to riding my bike. As most of you guys know, I guess, Chris, or Breeze, you're aware. Or maybe you're not, I don't know. I had COVID at the end of April and really all the way through May. And up until last week, I was dealing with the after effects, not being able to, I mowed the lawn one day a couple weeks ago, and I had to take like a 2-hour nap afterwards. I got both my shots. I got sick. I tested positive 3 days after, or 4 days after I got my second shot. So, yeah, I'm double protected. But at any rate, I was dealing with the after effects for quite some time, and it wasn't until this week where I finally felt good enough to actually get out of the house, and did about 17 miles of bike riding this weekend. So that felt good, and yeah, so I'm having a pretty good week. So again, another terrible start by Dunn. Bailed out by the offense once again. He's 0-5 with an ERA of close to 7. Bullpen, like I said, bullpen bailed him out. Bullpen, who has pitched pretty well this year. Sir Anthony Dominguez and Edwin Diaz were our two major free agent signings. Sad the Bruins lost, and the Celtics are on the search for Brad's replacement. Rumor about Kemba being traded makes me sad. Yeah, I don't know if you watch the stuff on my channel as well. I mean, I know you watch the baseball stuff, but I don't know if you watch the hockey stuff as well. But I recorded a hockey video the night after the Bruins lost, and about halfway through it, I could feel myself just thinking, yeah, I need a few days off from hockey. I was getting really frustrated with the game, and yeah, so I was bummed out. I mean, the injuries really did them in. I mean, they were down three of their top 5 defensemen, 3 of their top 4 defensemen. So, and then that final game really turned when McAvoy got hurt. So they were down all 3 of their top 3 defensemen, and the Islanders were able to score when McAvoy was out, and that was it. So, yeah, I don't get really worked up about it. Yeah, the Sox game today was a mess. I felt really bad for Ryan Weber. I don't know if you saw his stat line, but Cora left him in the game. He pitched like 5 1/3 innings, gave up 13 hits and 11 runs. It was really, really bad. Weber, he took one for the team for sure. I felt really bad for him. So our game today, Joe Adell, 3-run home run. Janeo, who was our Rule 5 guy last year, and we kept him because he was a top 100 prospect. Doing pretty well, actually, for someone who hasn't played higher than rookie ball. Mondesi 3 hits. But yeah, our pitching staff just continues to get pummeled. Our starting pitching. That's not us. Let's go to our team. All right, so now we are on to a 3-game set at San Francisco. Game 1 is a 2-1 win, so finally some positive pitching. Now, once again, it was out of Clark Schmidt, who's actually pitched well. Do I know what they are? Yeah, it allows you to generate. It would be like putting in like a college. It's literally a league that feeds your major league. So it would be like a college league or something like that. I don't know exactly how it works in terms of I don't know if it generates standing, because that's the one thing that you can't do with college, right? Like if you look at when the draft pool comes out, you can't look at how did Arizona State do. So I don't know if it generates like to that level. I don't know if it's additional or if it replaces. I think so. I don't know if it's additional or if it replaces, to be honest with you. I've actually never tried it, so I've always just been happy with the way it works. So we win again, 2-1. Good pitching out of really everybody. Schmidt got knocked out after a few innings. He's out with a sprained ankle. But the bullpen came in, pitched well. Jameson Anna, 2 hits and an RBI. Wesniak, 2 hits and a run scored. So decent start, couple of wins here in a row. Keep going. Like I said, I believe so. It just adds an actual league. Like I don't know if it classifies as. Oh man, McKinstry's out for another 3 to 4 weeks. I don't know if it's. I don't know. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to multitask and it's not working. I don't know if it adds an actual I don't know if it classifies it as college or high school, or if it classifies it as just a lower level league that sends players to the big leagues when they're done. I don't know. That I don't know. So we win again. So that's 7 wins in a row. So those early season struggles we have sort of bounced back from here. Leiter went 6, gave up 3 runs, so that's good. Again, bullpen continues to pitch well. All right, keep going. Try to sweep San Francisco. We lose 4-2. So yeah, my goal is to try to get up to the trade deadline. I don't know if it's going to happen. I can't see any reason why it wouldn't. It's really the only month that's going to have any sorts of delays will be July. So we win again, 10-8. Looks like our starter gave up 4. Bullpen gave up a bunch. So Glasnow, that's probably his best start of the year. He has been terrible. 0-2 with a 7.89 ERA. That was one of his better starts. He's been absolutely awful this year. All right, so we got another game against Washington. I think this is a done game. We win 3-0. So Justin Dunn? Yeah. There we go. One hit over 7 1/3 innings. You love minor leagues in GM games. I've never tried. I've never tried one of those. Start as a manager from the bottom and work your way up things. I guess it would be fun. Start as a manager of a rookie league team or something and try to get promoted throughout the ranks. That seems like it would be enjoyable. It's something I actually need to figure out something else to work into my schedule, because right now I only have I only have this and the Tigers playthrough, so I need to get something else on my channel. So maybe I do something like that. Done with an outstanding performance. 12 strikeouts, 1 walk. Finally picks up his first win. Reed Detmers has been redonkulous. 17 games, 19 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, and a 34-2 walk to strikeout ratio. We traded Josh Naylor, actually, for Detmers, and he's been fantastic. So that was a good deal here early on. As we try to sweep Washington. We We lose 10-2, and Medina gets suspended. So 3, 4, 5, and 2 so far this month. 3 at Milwaukee. This is a team we should beat. Milwaukee's not very good this year. We'll see, though. We win 4-1. Drew Romo batting leadoff because our second baseman is hurt. We have to start in this one lighter. He pitched well. 1 run in 5. Bullpen continues to get it done. Romo, Wozniak, and Gallo all homer. Wozniak's been really good. I'm glad we moved him into the lineup. Look at that. 1156 OPS through 34 games. Where am I going? Schedule. And we'll keep going. So we try to win 2 in a row in Milwaukee. Nope. We lose 11-3. Ooh. Started in this one. Gilbert. He's been terrible. He's been really, really bad. Joey Gallo hit his 300th home run, I saw. So that's some big news. Yeah, I mean, games that have the ability to generate minor leagues, and you can actually see real development, I think is pretty cool. You know, it's one of the things I love about Out of the Park Baseball is all of the minor league systems. I mean, you can draft an 18-year-old and you can actually watch him develop. You know, you can look at his stats and you can actually watch him develop year over year, and I think that's really cool too. It's always been one of my favorite things about Out of the Park Baseball is just the depth in which it goes. So, all right, so we lost 11-3. So our starting pitching is now 15th. It was 14th, and it was actually worse than that. Glasnow's been terrible. Dunn finally pitched well. Schmidt got hit a bit in his last couple starts. Yeah, I mean, this is really bad. And it's going to be Ben Guest time really, really soon. It's just a matter of when I want to pull that trigger. We're not going to bench Glasnow. We're not going to bench any of these top 4. It's going to be Gilbert. What type of trade value does he have? Any whatsoever? Let's see. But again, thanks for coming and hanging out, Breeze, and those of you who are lurking. I appreciate it. My name's Aaron, and I have my own channel on YouTube. It's called Around the World Sports. Fairly small channel right now. It's only got about 210 subs or something like that, but growing daily, and it's mostly sports related content. But I'm thinking about doing some other stuff. I'm not really sure what I want to do. It looks like he's got a lot of value, actually. Tanner Houck. 3 great pitches. Really? Well, that's interesting. I didn't think he would have that much value, honestly. I like Michael Ciani. He's somebody I like picking up in this, just because of his defensive ratings, but we don't necessarily have a home for him right now. Wow. Yeah, he's got a lot of value. I did not expect this at all. Yeah, I mean, there's some decent players in here. I don't think I'm ready to pull the trigger just yet, but it's something to keep in mind. I just hope that when I'm ready to pull the trigger, that value's still there. Yeah, there's some good players in this list. All right. Anyway, let's keep going, and let's. So we are 6 games out. We're 19-16, trying to win the series at Milwaukee. Ooh, that's a couple of rough games in a row, because I think this was also a Glasnow game. Yeah. Tyler Glasnow, ERA over 8. Not good. Not good at all. think we get to the end of May, and if our pitching is still this bad, I think it might be time to look for a new pitching coach. So let's see how it goes here against Philadelphia. We lose 5-4, so we've lost 3 in a row. There we go, a 2-0 win. We're 20-18, still not great. Clark Schmidt pitched really well. Wozniak with a 2-run homer. Yeah, I mean, thankfully our bullpen has been absolutely lights out, because that's the only thing that's keeping us in this. Now, we are 4 games out of a wild card. 3rd best bullpen in the league. 15th best pitching staff. Ben Guess has made a couple of starts down in AAA. Looks pretty good so far. Jim Denny's in AA. He's not ready yet, although he's pitching really well. He's not ready yet. I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm not going to make any moves offensively because my offense has been fine. That's right. We lost Hernandez for the year too, or for 3 months. We need McKinstry back at the top of the lineup. But yeah, I don't know what to do. I mean, we're not going, I'm not going to trade Dunn. Glasnow, his ratings suggest, especially with how he's pitched for us his first 2 years with us, 8-12 with a 4.21 and then 17-9 last year, tells me that he should be better than this, and his ratings are fine. His ratings haven't dropped at all, so I don't know what's going on. We'll just have to hope that it's a bad stretch and they're able to work out of it. Can we take 2 out of 3 against Philadelphia? We do. We win 8-3. Jamison Hanna, couple RBIs. Gallo, is that a home run for Joey? Yep, home run for Gallo. His average is still below 180. Ramirez got his average up over 300, but he's not hitting for any power. He's only got 4 home runs. Home run power. This has been a weird year for some of these guys. He's on pace for 17 home runs after hitting 36 a year. Yeah, it's just been a weird season. Leiter pitched well again. So we go to St. Louis for 3 games now. So let's see how this series goes. A 1-0 loss. Those are the tough ones because we get good pitching and we still lose. And then a 6-0 win. So Janeo 3 for 5 with 3 runs knocked in. Mondesi, Veen homers twice. Glasnow pitched and he got the win. There we go. Tyler Glasnow, his first victory of the season. 8 1/3 innings, 1 hit, strikes out 9. So that is good. Can we get back-to-back good starts out of Glasnow and Dunn? Let's see. He's probably going to give up like 12 in an inning and a third. No, did he get the win? And he picks up the win. So back-to-back good starts for the first time this year out of Glasnow and Dunn. Moves us to 23-19 on the year. Wow, there's some teams that have gotten off the hot starts this year. I already read that. Yeah, no, that's, again, Breeze, it's one of the things I love about Out of the Park Baseball is just that it's so deep. There's so much you can do. A lot of tough decisions because it allows you, much like a real front office, it's more than just their ratings that determine what league they're in. I mean, you can have someone like Drew Jones who, he's a bad example because he's not hitting all that well, but you might have somebody who's lighting up a particular league, but his ratings suggest that he doesn't really belong there, like he does just based off his ratings. But, if he's lighting up a league and his ratings say he doesn't belong there, do you leave him in that league because he's hitting, or do you move him to a league where his ratings are more, his speed, I guess, for lack of a better term? I'm really excited about Luke Lito. I don't know where we got a random talent bump here out of him. This is fantastic. I mean, he's gotten off to a super hot start in AA this year. He'll likely be, I don't know where we're going to play him because we have a first baseman and a third baseman right now who are solidified in place, but we'll figure it out. All right, let's keep going. We'll get to the end of the month and then we'll recap and we'll look at some of the prospects and everything else. So we took 2 out of 3. We've won 4 of our last 6, and now we take on New York, followed by the Dodgers in a 6-game homestand. Big homestand for us. 12-1 victory right off the bat. Gallo with another home run. Genoa. It's probably Genoa. It's not Genoa. The O and the A is the other way. It's Genoa. 3 more hits, 3 more RBIs. Wozniak, 3 hits, 3 runs scored. Tough game for Joe Adell. Golden sombrero, 0 for 5, 4 Ks. He's taken a bit of a step backwards this year. He's taken a significant step backwards compared to last year, but it's still early. Another good start for Clark Schmidt. Sees that ERA drop below 4. Game 2 against the Mets. Another victory. We're now season high, 6 games over 500. And just as I say that Joe Adell's having a rough season, hits a grand slam. That's nice. Jack Leiter picks up another win. His ERA dropped below 5. Can we sweep the Mets? We do. We win 13-4. So good series. I kind of like Drew Romo at the top of the lineup. He's not walking as much as I thought he would, but I like him at the top of the lineup for some reason. Offense spread up and down. 1, 2, 3 players with at least with 2 RBIs. Had like 9 players with at least a run knocked in. Home runs for Veen and Apostle. Gilbert picks up the win. He's gotten better, but he's still likely not. He's the odd man out when Guest comes back. All right, so we got 3 games here against the Dodgers. First game against old friend. This is the I forget what they call it, the City Series. The City Series Red Sox hat. The minute I saw the colors, I think the powder blue and yellow is such a cool combination, and not just for the Red Sox, but I love the Chargers jerseys as well, the powder blue Chargers jerseys. So yeah, this is my Red Sox hat. So game 1 against the Dodgers, big series. Can we win? Last time we had a big series against the Dodgers, yeah. That's a Glasnow start. That was not good. That was not good at all. So that's twice this year that DeGrom has beaten us. I'm sure he's loving that. Game 2, a 7-1 loss. In Game 3, we get swept. Wow, that was hurtful. A lot of the City Series stuff I like. There's some that I'm not crazy about. Like, I don't know if you've seen the Cubs City Series. Their jerseys say Wrigleyville on it. I'm not really crazy about that, but... All right, so we get McKinstry back. What do we do? Ataman is the logical... Well, Simmons is the logical choice to go down, but we would have to... we would have to put him on waivers. I think we do that because Ataman just has a little more flexibility. He refuses to be demoted. All right, well, we will designate, call McKinstry back up, put McKinstry back in the lineup, back up at the top of the order against lefties. Get McKinstry back out there. And it's good that Janeo, that we know that he can get it done. That'll make it easier to, I don't want to say move on from McKinstry, but if we need to move on from McKinstry, that'll be nice that we have somebody that we know can kind of pick up the slack. He did quite well. All right, so that sucked, getting swept by the Dodgers. We are 26-22, 4 games out of a wild card. We're behind Miami. Look at that. Miami, San Diego, and Washington. It's going to be a tough year to make the postseason. Atlanta and Washington are both winning 2 out of every 3 games. The Dodgers are 35-13. The Padres are playing .625 ball. It's going to be hard to make the postseason this year. It would help if we got off to a good start here against Arizona. And we lose our 4th in a row. Okay. 5th in a row. Wow. Okay. So we win. I don't know what to do about our pitching staff. I don't know what to do about our starters. Jamison Hanna homers twice. Drew Romo homers. 4 RBIs there. 5 home runs for Hanna. 3 for 5 for Mondesi. 3 hits for Gallo. Yeah, I just don't know what to do. Brusdar Graterol signed a contract with the Dodgers after spending a year with us, or really, I guess, a year and a half. Dunn's come around, Schmidt's come around, Leiter has been up and down, Gilbert's been up and down, and Guess has been very good. I mean, I think I don't know. I just, because we're not going to put Glasnow in the bullpen. And I'm afraid that if we call up Guess, he's just going to get smoked too. What do we do? All right, well, let's get to June. Let's just get through the next 4 games and then figure it out. So we got 3 games against Cincinnati. Game 1, it's a 12-2 win. My eye's twitching. It felt weird. I think it was another Dunn start. Yeah, so he's bounced back. He's bounced back. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. He has bounced back nicely. April, 0-5 with a 6.04, 3-1 with a 2.82 in May. So he's back. That's good to see. Lots of home runs. Adele, Mondesi, Ramirez, and Apostle. Ramirez with only his 5th home run of the year. Okay. So we've won 2 in a row. Can we make it 3? We went 4-1. Another solid pitching performance. This one's, I think, by Schmidt. Yep. 5 innings, 10 strikeouts for Schmidt. He's up to 6-2. Diaz has been as advertised for us. Dominguez has struggled. Yeah, he's had 2 off months in a row. I mean, he's been better in May than he was in April, but he hasn't exactly been good this month either. All right, let's finish off. Can we sweep Cincinnati? Yeah, we do. We went 14-6. So Apostle gets hurt, but he's day-to-day, which means we can continue to play him. Again, the offense just continues to hammer. Leiter got lit up, but Duplantier pitched well. Medina pitched 3 innings for the save. All right, so we got Max Fried and his 1.94 ERA here finishing off May. Now we have Max Fried and his 5-0, 1.94 ERA. Can we finish off the month winning 5 straight? No, we get blown up. Yeah, I don't know if postseason is in the. I mean, it's still super early. I mean, we're only 3 games out of a wild card, but San Diego's playing 600 ball. Washington has got the main wild card spot at 36-19. Atlanta's 38-17. Dodgers are 38-17. Some really good teams this year. James McCann at 34 years old, leading the National League in hitting. Luis Garcia, Christian Pash. He never hits that well. Wow, his offense really developed in this playthrough. That doesn't normally happen with him. It's on pace for 10 WAR. Wow. Sung Bum Na is the leading home run hitter in the National League. Acuna and Zach Veen are tied for second. Torkelson with the Dodgers. It's funny, he's with the Dodgers in my Tigers playthrough as well. Johnny Sicoli and Lewin Diaz, your top 3 in RBIs. Wozniak, the rookie, leads the National League in OPS. And we got Clark Schmidt, with 2.5 WAR. So he's having a really good season for us when you factor in what everybody else is. And Carson Montgomery is still, I can't get over how good this guy is. He's 7-0 as a 22-year-old. Struck out 106 in 73 innings. This was in the year that we got Guess, and I'm happy with Ben Guess, but we got Guess at 4, so this would have been something special. All right, so let's take a look at pitching and see if we can figure something out. Although, again, I've said this over and over again. I don't really know what we can do. I mean, I guess we could technically dump Tim Hill, who's been... Well, I don't know how he's... Let's look at his splits. Yeah, I mean, even as a lefty specialist, he's just been okay. But, I mean, these ratings against righties are not sustainable. So maybe we send Hill away, move Gilbert to the bullpen, and call up Guess. I think that's going to be move number one. So can we send him down, or do we have to... Yeah, we got to designate. All right, can we... I don't want to... And I don't think anybody's going to want... He's a 35-year-old lefty reliever, so let's see if anybody wants him. If nobody wants him, we'll just DFA him. Okay, so there are some offers, which is kind of weird. Unexpected, but it's fine. There's nobody there I want. All right, so we're just going to DFA him. If somebody takes him, somebody takes him. It's not the end of the world. So it is time to call up Ben Guess. So we are going to move Gilbert into the pen. We are going to call Guess into the rotation. We are going to make Gilbert a middle reliever for now. See how that works out. We're going to move Medina to a long reliever. And we'll start with that move right there and see if that helps. Schmidt and Dunn, especially Schmidt's been good all year. Dunn had a really nice May, so he seems to have bounced back a little bit. Lighter, ERA over 6, but a really high BABIP. His FIP is about a run and a half lower, so I have to believe that he will come around as well. I mean, his ratings are too good to not. And then Glasnow, I don't know. I just don't know. He's walking too many batters, giving up too many home runs, but his opponent batting average is only 254. So it's almost like it's walk, 3-run homer, and before you know it, he's down 3-0, and that's what's happening to him every game. So we'll start with that and see if that change makes any difference. And if it continues to be this bad, in June and in July, we'll look to make some moves. Offensively, we're led by a rookie, Sam Wesniak. He was the one we moved on from Josh Naylor for, and we have been rewarded for our faith. 51 games, 37 starts. He's got 15 home runs, 35 runs knocked in, an over 400 on base percentage. He's at almost 1,100 OPS. Zach Veen's following up his rookie season with an even better sophomore season. Mondesi continues to hit for us. This was a fantastic contract signing by us. 3 years. It was 3 years, $21 million, but two of those last 2 years were team options. It's on pace for 4.5 WAR. Not as many triples this year, but you can't count on triples. So, Drew Romo having a pretty nice sophomore season. He's already at his home run total for a year ago. Still playing great defense, so that's nice to see. Sherten Apostle, a waiver wire pickup for us last year, almost 1,000 OPS. Jose Ramirez, and the extra bases are there. I mean, he's on pace for almost 50 doubles, but this lack of home run power is concerning, considering last year he hit 36. He was also the MVP last year, so I'm hoping he'll pick up. Zach McKinstry's back from injury and picking up right where he left off. 312, 421 on base percentage out of the leadoff spot. Joe Adell, we talked about. Power's there. I mean, he's on pace for the same number of home runs and same number of extra bases he hit last year, but his average is down almost 50 points. His on-base percentage is down almost 70 points. So, I mean, he's not having anywhere near as good a season as he had last year. Jamison Hanna continues to play well in a backup role. As long as he is content being in that role, we'll leave him in that role. He's been 3 straight seasons of 300. Angel Henao, who was our Rule 5 guy, 300 batting average as a 20-year-old after never having played higher than rookie ball. We got him from Cleveland in the Rule 5, and he's been terrific. Joey Gallo is not getting it done offensively this year. a 700 OPS. If he's going to hit a .188, he's got to hit 40 home runs to have any value. So after 3 straight 40 home run seasons for Mr. Gallo in Colorado and 4 straight overall, unless he has a hot streak, I don't see him getting there this year. And he has Drew Jones breathing down his neck right now. So, we got a ton of prospects. Spencer Miles can get called up since we called Guest up. Yeah, we have an absolute ton of prospects. We are in good shape. All right, so let's keep moving on. So we got 2 more games against Atlanta, followed by 3 against the Cubs. There's another loss. Simmons won't go down, so we're going to have to waive him. Does anybody want Andrelton Simmons? Again, thanks for hanging out, guys. Even if you're just lurking and watching in the background, I appreciate you hanging out with me here on this Sunday night as we play through year 5 of the Colorado Rockies playthrough. All right. Nobody wanted him, so we're going to have to cut him. Which I didn't, well, nobody that I want anyway. So we'll just go ahead and release him, which is a shame. That's exactly what I was hoping to not have happen, but let's move forward. All right, so we got Luis Severino today, followed by the Cubs. And we win, finally. 6-5 in 10. So we scored 4 in the 7th to tie it. Picked up 1 in the 10th. Who started for us? Dunn did not pitch well, but the bullpen did. Veen hits his 17th. Ramirez drives in a couple. All right, so we're 5 games over 500, taking on the Cubs now. Another victory. Zach Veen, 3 for 4. Ali Sanchez getting the rare start, picking up a couple RBIs. Clark Schmidt pitched well, again, with the bullpen. Today? Okay, today is Ben Guest Day. 2-star players, and they are... Oh, yeah, for Simmons. Yeah, Simmons, his contract, he was making the minimum. So trading him dumping him it only cost us like $600,000 or something. So wasn't really concerned there. All right, so we get Ben Guest going against Robbie Ray today. Let's see how the rookie does in his big league debut. Of course, it's going to make me wait, and we win 6-5. All right, so we got up 5-0. Looks like he picked up the win. Ben Guest goes 7 2/3 innings in his debut, gives up 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and strikes out 10. That's what we needed to see. Joey Gallo hits 2 home runs. Logan Webb struggled, but that is fine. The big news in this one, Ben Guest, our rookie, number 4 overall pick back in 2023, goes 7 2/3 in his big league debut. That is wonderful. All right, so now we look for the 3-game sweep of the Cubs and our 4th straight win. And we do. We get it 4-3. All right, so Leiter is out with a blister. It doesn't look like he's going to miss a start. Did he get the win? He did. He picks up the win to improve to 5-2. All right, so Wozniak hits his 17th. All right, so that's a bit of a hot streak for us. That's nice to see. Moves us up to, well, we're still 7 games out of first. We're 1 game out of the wild card. Only a game behind Washington. Only a couple games now behind, or a game behind San Diego, a couple games behind Washington. So a couple of good games in a row. And we have a bad Pittsburgh team that we're going to be taking on here at 19-41. So hopefully we can continue to play well. All right, so I wanted to look at. So we have $4 million left to spend this year. Not much. $6 million going into next season. The only players coming off the books this year are Logan Webb and Riley Adams. Yeah, we jump up to $160 million payroll next year. Next year, maybe when we move on from Jamison Hanna, as I don't want to pay him $4 million. We got 1 more year, or 1.5 more years of paying DeGrom. We'll have to figure out what we want to do in the offseason, but, we can free up a lot of money by moving on from Gallo when the season ends. But again, if Joey Gallo hits 240 and it's 41 home runs, he's worth every bit of the $25 million contract because he's also an elite right fielder. So, I don't want to trade him just to trade him, just to get him off the books. I mean, most of our most expensive players are also the oldest, which I guess makes sense. But I wanted to look at the trade block. I don't suspect there's going to be anybody here who's going to be better than what we have. Griffin Canning's not terrible. I mean, his ratings aren't bad. There's not really anybody here that, at least from a pitcher perspective, offensively, there's nobody on the trade block yet, so we're just going to keep plugging along as we take on Pittsburgh 4-3 and then a big series at San Diego. The first game is a 12-2 win, so we're 5-1 this month. Good start to June. 3 for 3, 4 RBIs for Gallo. He's starting to heat up as he's got 2 more home runs. So that's 4 home runs in his last 2 games. McKinstry, a couple of hits. Veen, 3 hits, 2 RBIs. Romo. Romo homered, Gallo homered twice. Mondesi, Ramirez, and Veen all homer. So our offense is rolling. Glasnow pitches 7 shutout innings. Got that ERA down to 6. So good start there. Good start to the series. Good start for Glasnow. Game number 2 is a 4-3 win. So we keep winning. Is Hill refuses to be demoted. Man, I didn't want to cut him. It's nice to have that lefty specialist, but it doesn't play as big a role now. So that's fine. $830,000. All right, so we scored 2 in the 9th to come from behind. Done with the start, pitched well, 3-7. Dominguez strikes out the side. Diaz picks up the save. Janao with a pinch hit single. Cool. So another victory. And that's, 6 in a row? We're 6-1 this month. Can we sweep the Pirates? Don't know yet. Jacob Kostichak. All right, so he's somebody that I would like to call up, although I don't think he's quite ready yet. So we will rehab assignment. And again, our bullpen hasn't been the problem. Our bullpen has been fine. Most of Gilbert's mess was as a starter. Maybe Logan Webb we can move on from. He's only signed through this year, and he hasn't been particularly good. I mean, he's striking out a lot of batters, but he's not particularly good. All right, so we got to finish off this series here against the Pirates and Ross Stripling. And we win 3-1. So we continue to stay hot. McKinstry, 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Wesniak, 3 hits. Schmidt improves to 7-2. Bullpen went 3 and 2/3 shutout ball. All right, so we got a huge series now against San Diego. We are 1 game up on the Padres after winning 7 straight. They've lost 2 in a row. Taisuke Yamaoka will go today. Morejon will go tomorrow. And then Gore will go in the final game. Tatis continues to mash for them. Trent Grisham is playing well. Their offense hasn't been... Look at that. They're 10th in runs scored. Offense has struggled. Offense has not been good. They got Randy Arozarena. All right, we got to go to our schedule. All right, so first game of the series. Goes to, the Padres. They beat us good. Ben Guess gets his second start, doesn't make it out of 5. Doesn't make it through 5, gives up 8 hits, 5 runs. Not a good game. Not a good game. We are 37-27, game number 2. We're going to get swept again. We lose 12-11. They score 2 in the 9th. Tatis with 5 runs knocked in. Detmers blows the save. Diaz blows the save. Leiter doesn't make it through 3. Yeah, not this wasn't a good this wasn't a good game at all. All right, so we've lost 2 out of 3 at home against the Padres. Can we manage the third game? No. Wow. All right, so we've had 2 major series this year against the Dodgers and the Padres, and we got swept in both of them. Glasnow pitched 5. Webb got beat pretty good. Romo homers twice. Gallo hits his 14th. But we fall, 2 games now behind the Padres? 2 games behind the Padres, 2 games out of the wild card. Oh, good. We're playing, and we're going to be facing off against Carson Montgomery. So we can expect this losing streak to go to 4 games here. So let's see. Yep, 6-2 loss. So 4 straight losses after a 6-1 start to the month. We're going to make it 5 losses in a row. We are. And can we win Sunday and avoid losing 6 in a row? We do. Okay. So it's something. It's not great, but it's something. So guest pitches in that one. Goes 8 1/3. Mondesi homers. Hannah homers. Apostle homers. All right. So we are, what are we? We're 38 31. 10 games out of first. Oh, that stinks for Miami as Montgomery goes down for 3 months. Yeah, and our bullpen has started to come apart here as well. Our bullpen ERA is now 10th. We're not even first in offense anymore. So, yeah, this has definitely been a step backwards compared to last year where we finished with the top offense in baseball and won almost 100 games. So, again, what do I do? I mean, do we see? Because Logan Webb, I mean, again, he's only signed for 1 year. Hasn't been particularly good. Is anybody interested in Logan Webb? We have just a number of pitching prospects that we can call up. Any value in Logan Webb? No. Nope. Can I send him down? Yeah. So we're gonna, if we want to send Logan Webb down, basically we're gonna lose him. I would imagine somebody. Man, my office is hot. I imagine that somebody would pick him up. Kosti Shock has only gotten into a couple of games down there. Spencer Miles is not ready yet. We've got Ian Hamilton and Thibaut Mercadier and Jackson Bennett. Bennett looks to be ready. I would say he's ready. 24 innings, 17 hits, no home runs, 5 walks, 23 strikeouts. Yep. So we are going to... I don't want to get rid of Gilbert yet. I think we designate Logan Webb. That experiment didn't work out, and that's fine. So let's call up Bennett, and we're going to make him a bullpen arm. Let's see how he does there. He looks really good. Yeah, his stamina is only a 44, so it probably makes sense to leave him in the bullpen. All right, so we got 3 against a bad Oklahoma City team, 3 against San Francisco, and then we have the All-Star break. So we'll pause at the All-Star break and take a look at our stats and league leaders and whatnot. And again, guys, if you haven't already, that is my YouTube channel. I started there, I started making videos about 1.5 years ago at the beginning of 2020. I paused in August, and in 2021 I started back up, and then GM Games and I got together, and they asked me if I wanted to do an out-of-the-park baseball playthrough on their channel, and it turned into streaming, and this is my 3rd stream. So if I sound like I don't know what I'm doing, it's because I don't. But that is my YouTube channel where I've got, right now, just out-of-the-park baseball games going on. So we win 5-1 over Oklahoma City. I've done others. I've got some franchise hockey manager on there. There's some draft day sports stuff on there. And I'm thinking about doing something non-sports related. I don't have any idea what. I like to play a multitude of games. As Gallo homers twice, McKinstry homers. Leiter went 7 shutout innings. That's nice to see. Moves to 6-2. Win the games you're supposed to win. Can we sweep? Let's win the second game first, and then we can talk about a sweep as we get a 4-0 victory. Glasnow pitched. Hey, Ranger, how are you? Yeah, he is. He's. The average is only 198. But if we look at his batting splits, in April he was at 183. He was at 194 in May, 228 this month this month with 8 home runs already. And again, a Joey Gallo who only hits 228 but hits for this kind of power, he's got 992 OPS. So yeah, he's had a nice stretch of games. How you doing tonight, Ranger? Having a good weekend, I hope. What's left of it anyway. Mondesi 3 hits and an RBI. Romo homers. Glasnow goes 7 1/3. I don't want to say he's come around, but he's had 2 outings here, 2 outings of 7 innings of no-run baseball. April, yeah, I would say he's come around. June he's looked really good. 4 starts, 1.80 ERA. So that's something we need. We definitely are going to need him to continue to pitch well if we're going to have any shot. Can we sweep Oklahoma City? We do, and we are an incredibly streaky team, guys. We started 6-1, then we lost 5 in a row, and now we've won 4 in a row. Yeah, we are a streaky ball club. Joe Adell, 2 for 4, 2 RBIs. Janau, 2 hits. Justin Dunn goes 7 1/3, gives up. He's not going to have nearly as good a year as he had last year, but he's also bounced back after a really, really rocky start. June hasn't been great, but May was really good for him, so he's bounced back a bit. So that was a nice little run there. We're still 4 games behind San Diego now, who has the wild card lead. Only 2 games out of a wild card spot. Miami, I think, is going to struggle without Montgomery. Yeah, honestly, I didn't watch anything today. Normally I do, but I think after because hockey is my favorite sport, and after getting so involved in the Bruins for the last few weeks, I needed a break from real life sports here this weekend. I watched the Red Sox game peripherally yesterday. They were on, but I didn't really pay attention, and it didn't appear to be much to pay attention to. And today I did nothing. I woke up late. I got up at like 10 o'clock today, which as a 45-year-old father of 4, getting to sleep till 10 is unheard of. I got out of bed at 10. I went and mowed the lawn. Then I took a bike ride. Then I came home and took a nap and hung out with my kids. So I didn't watch anything today. I don't even think I turned the TV on today. I've watched some Twitch, but I don't think that counts. All right, so our last 3 games leading up to the All-Star game are against the Giants. We are currently on a 4-game winning streak. Can we make it 5? We do. We went 4-0. I think this may have been a guess game. Nope, Clark Schmidt continues. Look at that outing from Clark Schmidt. 8 innings, 4 hits, 12 strikeouts, a sub-3 ERA. He is getting it done. Joe Adell and Wesniak both homer. Some of our offensive ratings are just absurd. If Jose Ramirez starts hitting, our offense is going to be unreal. I don't know what is going on with him this year, but it's been a rough start to the season for him. All right, second game against San Francisco is a 13-5 win. So a 6-game winning streak, followed by a 5-game losing streak, followed by a 6-game winning streak. But yeah, we normally, again, as a father of 4, I don't get a ton of opportunities to just sit and do nothing. But the weekends are definitely the way to go. I think I'll get back kind of into my routine starting tomorrow. I'll watch the Red Sox tomorrow night after work, and I'll start watching hockey again. But yeah, I needed a break after the way the Bruins season ended. So we win this one 13-5. Joe Adell with 3 RBIs, homers, Wesniak homers, Veen homers. Zach Veen is just a machine. On pace for 48 home runs, 118 runs knocked in, 6.5 WAR. Guess did not pitch well, but the bullpen did, and we got more than enough offense. So he's been up and down, as can be expected, but a good start followed by a bad start, followed by a good start, followed by a bad start. So hopefully that means his next start will be a good one. And can we win the final game going into the All-Star break? Let's see. We are winners of 6 in a row. Nope, we lose 13-5. And that, I think, was Glasnow, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was Leiter. Oof. Okay. We called up Bennett. Was that the first game he got into? Yeah, he hasn't. That's fine. Not going to read too much into that. All-Star notifications today. Who did we have? We didn't have any pitchers. Oh, we had Clark Schmidt, which makes sense. 8-2. 2.89 ERA. Reed Detmers, which also makes sense. Sir Anthony Dominguez and Edwin. We had 4 pitchers make the All-Star team. Dominguez, Diaz, Detmers, and Clark Schmidt all made the All-Star team. Offensively, Wozniak made it. Veen made it. And that's it. So we only had, it's weird, backwards. 4 pitchers and 2 batters for our Rockies make the All-Star game. Prospects, we probably had a bunch of people here. Jim Denny, Luke Lito, Drew Jones. Yeah, we had 3 because we called up a couple of them. I think Guess would have made it if he wasn't there. So, all right, so we are 43-32 at the All-Star break. 13-13 in April. 17-12 in May, 13-7 here in June. So we've gotten better year over year. We're not getting it done in 1-run games, which would tell you that it's our bullpen. But our bullpen has actually been pretty solid this year. So at least until recently, they're down to 10th in ERA. But for most of the season so far, we were in the top. Our bullpen was in the top 5. Second in strikeouts. 7th in home runs, which is good. You know, I mean, you pitch for Colorado, you expect to be in the bottom half. Pitching, Schmidt, and we talked about, has been phenomenal. Justin Dunn is bounced back after a ridiculously bad beginning of the season. Jack Leiter's not having a good second season. I mean, what is it? He's just giving up too many hits. 82 hits in 74 innings. 11 home runs in 74 innings isn't terrible. It's up a little bit from last year, as are his walks, which is weird because his control has gone up. Yeah, so he hasn't been fantastic. Detmers has been really good. Struggled a bit in this past month, but still 57 strikeouts, 8 walks in 40 innings. I'll take it. We talked about Glasnow. He's bounced back here after a really, really rocky start. No pun intended. Duplantier and Diaz both pitching well out of the pen. Dominguez is pitching a lot. 60 strikeouts in 35 innings. Yeah, Logan Gilbert isn't getting it done. He's not getting it done in the bullpen either. So he is somebody that we could potentially move on from as we get closer to the trade deadline. Yeah. Yep. So anyway, lineups, offense. Zach Veen, good for 3 WAR already in 73 games, 22 home runs, 54 knocked in, OPS of 1060. Sam Wozniak, if he's not the Rookie of the Year, I don't know what the Rookie of the Year is. 19 home runs, 50 RBIs. He's on pace for 6 WAR and an 1100 OPS as a rookie. 40 home runs, 108 RBIs. Mondesi continues to play well. Roma, I mean, really, offense is playing well across the board. You look at Joey Gallo, he's bounced back, on pace for 30 and 100. So again, Gallo hits 40 home runs. I think he's worth his contract. Ramirez, Jose Ramirez isn't getting it done. I mean, you have to think that it's a I don't want to say a fluke. You have to say it's just a. I mean, at what point is it not a slump? And it is. This is what his season is. Hopefully, he bounces back after the All-Star break. He's obviously not going to do what he did last year, but if he can come close to that in the second half of the season, that's going to be a big help. Again, Adele's another one who's had a down season compared to last year. He's lost 50 points off his batting average. Yeah, but still, even that being said, he's worth the contract that we're paying him. It's a nothing contract for a 26-year-old center fielder with 30 home run power. If we look at some of our prospects, oops, it's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go here. Guess is already up. Drew Jones so far is hitting 272, 319, 393 in Double-A. We'll leave him there. He may skip Triple-A. You know, if he gets that ratings bump, you know, he may spend a month in Triple-A this year just to get him ready, and he'll probably be our starting center fielder next year. Jim Denny, he was our first-round pick in 2024. He's pitching well so far in Double-A. Actually, no, he's not. He's not giving up a lot of home runs, but he's walking a lot, giving up a lot of hits. But he's only 22, so I'm still confident that pick is going to work out, even if some people who have commented on the channel don't think it will. Julio Negron is in the international complex. Willie Acevedo is probably going to be a trade chip, honestly. I don't know that his contact is ever going to be good enough for him to be an impactful major leaguer. He's already 21. He's not hitting particularly well in A-ball. He's a decent fielder. But being that he's the 38th prospect in baseball, we might be able to do something there. Luke Lito, we talked about earlier. He continues to hit well. He's got almost 1,000 OPS in Double-A while putting up a 3.27 ERA. So he is getting it done in Double-A right now as both a batter and a pitcher. Estrada's in rookie ball, hasn't started yet. Hanoa's obviously with the big club. Carter Smith is in Double-A, and he's hurt. How long is he out for? Torn back muscle. Made 3 starts in Double-A. He's not quite ready yet, but with him being an extreme ground ball pitcher, this is the type of pitcher I want on my big league roster. He's going to give up almost no home runs. With a 77 movement as an extreme ground ball sidearm starter, he's going to give up almost no home runs. So I look forward to having him up. Cole Wagner was a pitcher that we turned into a hitter, and the offense is starting to come along. He's hitting really well in high A ball. Let's actually call him up to Double-A now. See how he does there. And it's all about assets, right? I mean, we have just a crap ton of prospects who are potentially solid. So that gives us the opportunity to move on. You know, if we want to pick up an elite starter or something, we have a lot of prospects to do that. So, all right, let's keep going. Where are we? We're June 23rd. So let's sim through a couple days here. We'll get up to Washington. Logan Webb refuses to be demoted. Does anybody want Logan Webb? I don't want to just cut him. His ratings suggest that he's a decent pitcher, even though he's not pitching like it. Keston Hura, meh. Mike Yastrzemski, meh. Yeah, there's not really anything here that interests me. Nothing here that's better than what I would be giving up. All right. So is there anybody on the pitching staff that can go down? I don't think I have anybody who can be sent down, honestly. All right, I want to see what I can get for Logan Gilbert. If I can get a decent prospect for him, and then I can just call Webb back up. Again, I'm not getting any prospects. All right, we'll take a look at regulars here in a second, too. Sorry, my pillow, my lower back is jamming me in the kidney. 24-year-old center fielder, no thank you. Yuck. All right, let's look at regulars. This is where there were some interesting names. Hey, Random Task. It's going okay. We're absolutely not having the same year we had last year. I don't think 99 wins is on the books for this season. Our pitching staff has not been has not been very good this year. So we haven't made any trades, but we've made some moves with our pitching staff. We called up Ben Guess, our top pitching prospect. Logan Gilbert was moved to the bullpen, where he's continued to just be bad. So we're looking now to see what we can do to move on from him. And yeah, we're probably going to play up through the trade deadline. That's the goal here, at least. I mean, it's only been streaming for an hour, and we're already a month away. Just a month away. But June will probably take a little while because we've got the draft, and that could be the problem. That could be the problem this year, is that they're not using Spider Tack. It's crazy. I saw something I was on Twitter today. I think it was like Bob Nightingale who posted it on Twitter today, who said that the spin rate over this last week in the major leagues was far and away lower than it had been in any week since the season started, which is just hysterical because it's telling you what's happening, right? I mean, players know they're going to be tested for it now, so they don't do it, and then all of a sudden, the offense picks up. And as a Red Sox fan, I mean, they got absolutely torched by Toronto this year. So that's telling me, and the Red Sox starters have had their worst cycle through the rotation this year. So that tells me right off the bat that something's going on. Anybody we are interested in? Michael Ciani is still on here. Yeah, some of the names that were on here before are no longer on here, which is, I don't want to say concerning, but tells me I should have pulled the trigger earlier when I had the opportunity. Yeah, it's so blatant, right? Like they're not. It's so obvious that all this cheating is going on, and that's what it is. It's cheating. Holy crap! Texas wants to give me this guy. I mean, that seems like a no-brainer, right? He's out for the year, so he's not going to pitch for us this year. But this seems like a no-brainer, right, guys? Moving Gilbert for Jason Foley. I mean, yeah. So Matt Klentak doesn't like it, but I think this is an absolute no-doubter. 90 stuff, 62 movement, 72 control, 3 pitches that are 85 or higher, hits 98 to 100, still under arbitration. Yeah, the torn rotator cuff, but his injury proneness, and I guess it could change when he comes back from injury, but his injury proneness is normal, and he has had absolutely no injury history in the past. He was out with the flu a couple of years ago. Yeah, I mean, I always see if I can add something else to it. All right, Rangers, what do you want to give me? How about a first base prospect? You like a joke. Okay. Good defensive shortstop with a great eye. We are short on shortstop prospects, that's for sure. We are potentially going to have some issues once Simmons is gone. I can't trade for him. Braylon Bishop, he's not very good defensively. Wow, they got a lot. Look at all these 2.5-star prospects they have. There's a ton of them. I'd love to pick up somebody who can play shortstop, but they don't have anybody that they're willing to give me. There's not really anybody here that looks all that interesting. Cody Schreier, decent, very good second baseman. Would you give me Cody Schreier? It's Rule 5 eligible. Nope. Yeah, they don't want to give me anybody. Edgar Basabe, no. Mason Barnett. 3 really good. He's a fly ball pitcher, though. If he was a ground ball pitcher, I could have asked for him. This is the guy I really want. Very, very good defensively. Great batting eye. So the only thing they would take in return is Jones and Lido, and you can't have Jones or Lido. I'd give you Amador. Does that move the needle at all? Nope. Yeah, we have a couple of shortstop prospects, but none of them can hit, or none of them can really. Well, I guess he's not bad, but I mean, he's 21 years old. He's still in rookie ball, putting up negative WAR as a batter in rookie ball. Yeah, I can't get Pavin. I think I'm going to pull the trigger here. Look at their roster at AA. I mean, that's reality, though, isn't it? I mean, usually it's AA performance that it's those AA players that that usually end up. You know, the stars kind of go AA right up to the majors, and you see as many journeymen in AAA as you do in some of the lower ranks, I guess. Jake Skipworth, he's 24. Maybe a little bit old to be a prospect, but it'd be nice to have some power. That isn't enough. All right, well, you give me him for a half-star prospect, so that's fine. Can we do anything else here? Ooh, I like this guy. Good, very good defensively. What if we remove Skipworth? So Skipworth has no value to you. Okay, well, that's interesting. All right. I think I'm just going to pull the trigger with this. I would like Osuna. He would be the kind of player that, actually, you know what? I'm going to see if I can make this work, because he could be the kind of player that could replace Jamison Hanna as early as next season. We can stick him in center field and stick him in left field during spring training next year, or make him a center fielder here now, and he could be our backup outfielder starting next year. So, all right. Now, what do we have to do to make this work? What about Diego Ortiz? I am serious. Do I give up either Acevedo or Estrada to pick up Osuna, who's a year older, but maybe is a kind of higher ceiling? You'd stay away from Osuna? How come? Just out of curiosity, what is it about him you don't like? Yeah, these are Gilbert's ratings. For whatever reason, they're just not playing well in cores. I mean, he is a fly ball pitcher. Home runs are up. His walks per 9 are really what are killing him this year. Well, that, and he's given up 85 hits in 65 innings. So yeah, you got Gilbert's. He's got 4 really good pitches. His control's fine. His stuff is fine. His movement's a little bit low. Yeah, why don't you like Osuna? Because I see him as somebody who can play all 3 outfield positions, can get on base, isn't going to hit a lot of home runs, but is good on the bases, can play good defensively, will hit for decent contact, and will get on base. That's what I see when I look at him. He may not have the same ceiling as either Acevedo or Estrada, but I mean, he's a better defensive outfielder. He's got a better batting eye. He hasn't hit at AAA. You don't think he's going to make Major League as a hitter? Definitely a 70 OPS plus guy. I mean, he hasn't hit this year in AA. You're absolutely right there. I mean, he tore up Single A year ago as a 21-year-old, and he's still young to be in AA. Is he just unhappy with his performance? Who, Ranger? Is Gilbert? I would hope so, because he's been really bad. He's angry that I'm offering him up in deals, apparently, which I guess makes sense. Foley's so good, though. I mean, what if we just... Let's just see something. Okay, so, yeah, of the players that are being offered up here, Gilbert is the one that I would be most willing to move on from. He's so good. So this is the type of deal that's for that's obviously for next season, right? I mean, I don't know that we take that big of a hit moving from Logan moving from Logan Gilbert over to Logan Webb, because these are Webb's numbers, and Webb basically would slide into Webb would just slide into Gilbert's role as a middle reliever. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna pull a trigger. Foley's too good to pass up, and it allows us to potentially move on from one of these bullpen arms that we spent a ton of money on. Like, if Dominguez's numbers slip at all, we can move on from him because we've got somebody waiting in Jason Foley. So we're gonna make that trade. So fans don't like that we gave up Logan Gilbert, but they liked that we brought in Jason Foley. So the first thing we're gonna do is just stick Foley on the injured list. And we will call Logan Webb back up. So, not ideal. You know, I was hoping that Gilbert would sort of come around in the bullpen, but he hasn't. Yeah, I can get a fourth. Yeah, you're right. I can get a fourth outfielder like that any number of ways. So, all right, we are going to move on. We're going to get through June, do international signings, do the draft, do all that fun stuff. Let's see what happens here. All right, so the All-Star game. What happened in the All-Star game? Hasn't happened. Or yes, it did happen. It happened yesterday. Why is the score not coming up? Schedule. Why is it not coming up? There we go. So National League wins 9-7. So offensively, we had only 2 players, and it doesn't look like either of them could help if I looked at the National League. I always just put the American League on the left. I'm not sure why. It's just force of habit for me. Wozniak, 0 for 1, pinch hit, struck out. Zach Veen, 1 for 3 with a run scored, a couple of strikeouts. Pitching. Detmers pitched a scoreless inning. Dominguez pitched a scoreless inning, and Edwin Diaz got the save. So our pitchers did really well. So we had 3 pitchers come in. They all pitched shutout innings, and we had 2 batters go 1 for 3. So all right, cool. We got one more game, and then one more day, and then we go to Washington. I didn't want to go to that one. I wanted to go to my schedule. All right, so 3 games at Washington, followed by Milwaukee to end off June. Let's see how we do coming back from the All-Star break. 20-5. Yes, sir. A 13-run 9th inning. That will get it done, as they say. So where do we start? Zach McKinstry, 3 for 5, 4 runs knocked in. Ramirez, 4 for 5, 4 runs scored. Joey Gallo, 3 RBIs. Veen, 4 RBIs. Mondesi, 4 RBIs. Romo, 3 hits. And Glasnow couldn't make it through 5 to pick up the win. Are you kidding me? Come on. Ugh. Medina, Doyle, Dominguez, Duplantier all pitched. So we put up a 20 spot, and our starter isn't able to make it through 5 innings to pick up the win. Is that Radio? Yeah, old friend Radial Martinez got into this one, and he's pitched pretty well for Washington. Didn't pitch well today for 4 hits, 4 runs against his old team. I was hoping for a position player pitching alert in this one, but it didn't happen. We just put up 20 runs normally. Oops. All right, so that's a good way to come out of the All-Star break with a 20-5 victory. Game number 2, 7-6 win. Wow, 6 runs in the 9th to come from behind there. a grand slam for Ramirez in the ninth. Yep, grand slam for Jose Ramirez in the ninth. So he's had a nice start to the second half of the season. Again, our starter doesn't pick up the win, although Dunn didn't pitch badly. Only gave up 2 runs in 6 innings. Diaz picks up the save. So 2 in a row out of the box. Starter gave up 11 runs in 3 innings, and we won 20. Yeah, I talked about that today, actually. The Red Sox lost 18-4 today, or 16-4, or something like that. And Ryan Weber came on in the 2nd inning, and Joey Cora, or Alex Cora, just left him out there to get absolutely torched. He gave up like 11 runs and 13 hits in 5 innings or something. He took one for the team for sure. All right, can we sweep the Nationals? We do. We win 6-3. So that's a good way to start the second half of the season. 2 more hits, 2 more RBIs for Ramirez. Schmidt continues to pitch well. 6 1/3, picks up his 9th win of the year. Nice. And I think Milwaukee's pretty bad. Yeah, they're 8 games under 500. So we could finish up the month here on a 5-game winning streak. Let's not get ahead of ourselves and see if we can win today. Come on. Oh, that was me. That wasn't the game, that was me. There we go. We win again, 7-6. We'll look at the email here in a second. But 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th. So the comeback kids, the Colorado Rockies, continue to get it done. And we were winning 2-0 through 5. I'm assuming our bullpen gave it up. The Leiter gave up 3 and 6. He didn't pitch badly. Detmers and Dominguez and Doyle all gave up runs, but we still managed to win. Zach McKinstry with a home run in the 9th. We had 2 home runs in the 9th. McKinstry and Ramirez each go yard in the 9th. Was his a walk-off? Yeah. Ramirez was a walk-off home run in the 9th. So he's had a good start to the second half of the season here. 5-9 for 20 with 3 home runs and 11 RBIs in 4 games. It's a good start for Ramirez. McKinstry continues to hit well. And can we pick up the sweep in the final game of... Oh, I want to look at those emails first. Right. All right, so where is he? He's happy with our expectations. He wanted us to work on stolen bases. I don't care. I'm never going to pay attention to stolen bases. And we are bringing fans in, so he's happy with our performance. Expiring personnel, we are going to try to bring back both of these guys. Jameson is just a great trainer, and Klentak I don't really care about, as the assistant GM does nothing. Top 100 prospects, Ben Guess is 5th. Jim Denny is 9th, and it looks like Drew Jones fell out of the top 10. Okay, where is Drew Jones now? 16th. We don't even have the top system anymore. Interesting. That's okay. That is okay. All right, let's finish off the month. (47-32). We were 13-13 after April, and we win 6-5. So we do finish off the month with a 6-game winning streak. Who got the start here? Ben Guess got the start, went 6 1/3. Wasn't able to pick up the win, but the other rookie, Jackson Bennett, comes in, pitches an inning and 2/3 of perfect baseball to get the win. Diaz with another save. Mondesi and Ramirez homers again. I would say whatever Jose Ramirez did during the All-Star break is working for him. Got that average up over 270. 11 home runs, 46 knocked in. Wesniak, 3 hits, got on base 5 times. Wow, he is good. And we got him for next to nothing. Seattle offered him to us. We got him for that middle infielder. Yeah, Oswald Peraza, who has been... he was okay last year. 2.4 WAR for them. He's been in AAA this year, so I would say we won that trade. All right, so it's July 1st. That means it is international signing time. I've had some issues with the international signings here in some of my other playthroughs, where Nobody's interested in signing with me. I offer them the $5 million, and they come back and say, well, this team offered me $5 million. I'm more interested in that. And then when that happens, there's nothing I can do. So we got one good pitcher, one good hitter. And I think I like the outfielder more. Actually, I want to look at... Rarely makes waves in the clubhouse. He's only 16. He's a lefty, 6'2", 175-pound lefty. Good stamina, 3 good pitches or potentially good pitches. Quintanilla. Actually, I think I like the pitcher better. I don't suspect it's going to matter if the issues I've been having continue. You prefer... See, yeah, I don't know. His stuff and control isn't nearly as good, but I like the fact that he's a lefty. He's got 3 good pitches. He's got really good stamina. All right, you win. You changed my mind again. Let's see if we can sign him. Your favorite in game day. What does that mean? Your favorite in game day. What did I say? I have a terrible memory, so what did I say? No, in reality, neither of them are very good, but they're both super young. And one of the things that Out of the Park they started doing, I think it was in last year's game, was that you don't have every year. You aren't going to have a potential, both in the international signing and the first year player draft. You don't have that guaranteed superstar. That's your favorite. Mine is draft day. I love draft day. You're not going to have that absolute superstar in every single draft. You have a lot of players who could turn into superstars. So you get into the draft day and you have, 150 3-star players. Well, that's the reality. I mean, you don't normally have. I mean, that's one of the things about baseball in general, right? Is you don't normally have that absolutely can't miss superstar. And that's more realistic than having 5-star, than having your top 10 players every year being 5-star potential players. So I personally like the fact that it's harder to draft now than it has been in the past, and there are fewer sure things. That's just the way I prefer it. So let's see if we can get him to sign. Like I said, I've had issues lately where in both this or not so much in this one yet, but in my Tigers playthrough, and then I've got a Red Sox one that I do offline, where the last couple of years I just haven't been able to sign any international guys. They all come back to me and say, we prefer this guy. So let's see what happens. Can we sweep Milwaukee? No. So he's willing to negotiate again. That's fine. We'll see what happens if the outfielder doesn't come back to us or doesn't come to us. So we lost the third game of the series. We go to Philadelphia for 3 games, followed by 3 games at home against St. Louis. So game 1 at Philadelphia is an 8-4 loss. Game 2 is a 2. So that's a rough start to the month. We're 0-3 in July. Can we avoid being swept? No. Wow. That's brutal. All right, so we're 8 games out of first place. We sit in the wild card. We're tied with Washington, 2 games up on the Marlins. Again, it's our pitching staff. I'm not sure what to do. I thought I made all the right moves. What's weird is that I have, like I said, I have 3 saves that I have going on right now. This one, my Rockies or my Tigers save, and my Red Sox save. And the 2 that I stream for, the 2 that I do videos for, this and my Tigers one, my teams have been very successful. I haven't won it all yet. I think the Rockies are, we're kind of putting it together. My Tigers sim, I had back-to-back 100-win seasons followed up by a 93 wins or a 96-win season. So I've been super successful in those, even though I haven't won it all yet. I would consider them to be successful playthroughs. The one that I play offline, my Red Sox save, has just been brutal. It's been absolutely brutal. I feel like I am. Every move I make, I feel like it's the right one, and then it backfires on me during the season. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, right. I mean, realistic is better than not realistic. But again, I mean, it's one of the things I love about out of the park baseball. If you want to play an unrealistic game and you want to go in and you want to, make Joey Gallo a 300 hitter, be my guest. Do what you want to do to make the game happy, or what makes you happy, I guess. All right, so that was a rough stretch. We lost 3 in a row. We still have the wild card. Yeah, Logan Webb has gotten worse. So let's go to the pitching staff and let's use him less often. And I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because we have solid pitchers up and down our rotation. 4-star, 4-star, 3-star, 3, 4-star, and then and it's just not working. So we got Guess on the mound today. Can the rookie stop the bleeding against St. Louis? No. Wow, it's 5 losses in a row. A player's potential can increase. So you can draft somebody as I'll just look at Guess, who got smoked in this game, unfortunately. Ben Guess was drafted as a 4-star starter, and he has improved his potential has improved to 4.5 stars. So, their potential can absolutely improve, which to me is more realistic. You have players that maybe start out as someone who's and the way I look at it is I look at 3 stars as a 2.5 to 3 stars is sort of that average major league ball player. So if someone's 4 stars, they're going to be a very good major leaguer. So a lot of players get, you draft them with the hope that they're going to be solid big league ball players, and some of them turn into more than that. So, God, we've lost 5 in a row. It's brutal. Come on, win. We need a big game out of Glasnow. There we go. 6-2 win. Glasnow goes 6 1/3. Favorite draft is the 2002 draft. It highlights no sure thing. Greinke, Hamels, Fielder, Kazmir, and the number 1 pick was Brian Bullington. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But, again, if you look at someone like Zach Greinke, I don't know where Zach Greinke was drafted in that draft, but if the team who had the number 1 pick that year thought that Zach Greinke was going to be Zach Greinke, he would have been the number 1 pick, right? I mean, Greinke is a debatable Hall of Famer. So, they took Greinke thinking that he was going to be a good major league pitcher. Maybe not that he was going to be elite, but that he was going to be good. So maybe that means that in a real draft, he starts out as 3 stars, and before it's all said and done, he's 4.5. And that to me is realistic. That's more realistic than opening up the draft every year on July 11th and seeing, the top 10 players are all 4.5 or 5 stars. Greinke was in the top 5. Well, I mean, then it makes sense, right? I mean, he was drafted where he should have been. But that still doesn't necessarily mean that people thought he was going to be an absolute, and you can go like Prince Fielder, he had that high peak, before his injuries and stuff. Same with Kazmir. I mean, he had a couple of really, really good years for Tampa. And I guess he's back in the majors now, which I saw last week or the week before, and it completely blew my mind. I didn't realize he was still pitching. I hope it will be like this in... Yeah, I would imagine the engine is basically the same. Jolly Roger, I would hope it is anyway. But yeah, it's one of the things I've liked about the draft engine now versus previous seasons. Can we take 2 out of 3? There we go, an 11-0 win. I think that was a Justin Dunn start. It was. Dunn went 6 1/3 scoreless. Jose Ramirez homers again. Apostle homers twice. Jose Ramirez has been on an absolute tear since the All-Star break. So the All-Star game was here. He's gone from... went into the All-Star game hitting .257 with a .728 OPS, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 games later, he's raised his average 23 points. He's raised his OPS 117 points in 11 games. Scott, I love baseball, man. I mean, I love stories like that. So most of you guys know that in my, I have a real job like anybody else, but I also do broadcasting for the Chicago Dogs, which is an independent league team here in Chicago. They play in the American Association. And they have a pitcher on their team. Well, he's not on their team anymore, but his name was Paul Schwindel. And Paul was 31 years old. He hadn't pitched since 2015 with injuries and whatnot. He came back last season to pitch for the Dogs and started this season as their closer, and 2 days ago had his contract picked up by the St. Louis Cardinals. So, dude goes from having not pitched in organized baseball since 2015 to now he's in the Cardinals organization. And I just, like, you hear those stories all the time, and I just think they're so cool. And to be, I don't want to say I'm part of it, but to know somebody that's happened to is pretty cool. So, yeah, it's pretty awesome stuff. So, and you see stories like that all the time. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Yet, what's his name? He pitches for the Rangers now. He's a lefty. He was drafted by the Rays and had all sorts of drug problems, and he was out of the league for a while. I think he spent time in jail, and now he pitches for the Rangers, or at least did. I don't know if he still does, but he pitched for the Rangers a couple of years ago. And then there's Josh Hamilton, his story. So you see it all the time, and it's very, very cool. So, all right, so Jacob Kostichuk is ready to go. I think we're going to leave him in AAA, though. But to do that, I have to do some funky shifting with some players just because of how the thing works. And I don't know that I'm going to be able to send anybody down to make it work. Let's just do this. Get Guess back in there. All right. So we got a series coming up against the Mets. Was that, what the hell was the name of it? No, I'm thinking of, Matt Bush. That's who I was thinking of, Random Task. Thank you. He had all sorts of drug problems and stuff and came back as a lefty reliever. What's the name of that play? I think I saw that. At least I remember seeing something about seeing a documentary about an indie ball team. So that had to have been. I'll look it up when we're off, when we're done here. And I love indie ball too. I mean, I got to talk to some of the players last year as I traveled with the team and called their road games. And I remember talking to one of the players who's actually in the Cubs organization now. And his name's Tyler Ladendorf, not to name drop, but his name's Tyler Ladendorf. He played for the Dogs last year, had his contract picked up by the Cubs. He's in, I think, Iowa right now, but I was talking to him last year, and, it's truly about the love of the game. They keep playing where, I remember seeing that, where they just, and it does the same thing for managers. Like Wally Backman he had some sort of like a horrible drunk, like, incident with a fountain or something. I don't remember, but I mean, indie ball's great. I mean, these guys, they play because they love the game, and you see it, and it's been a lot of fun. But at any rate, all right. So we got 3 games against the Mets, and then we have the draft. So let's see how this goes. First game is a 3-2 win. So again, really, really streaky team. We lost our first 6 games of the month, followed by a 3-game winning streak. Schmidt wins his 10th of the year. Diaz picks up his 20th save. Romo homers. Game 2. A 2-1 loss. Giants don't need Kazmir with most of the guys. Yeah, I mean, that's Wally Backman had some issues. It seems like that entire 85 Mets or 86 Mets team had issues between Backman and Dykstra and Strawberry and Gooden and and everything else. And don't forget about the Keith Hernandez spitting incident. Anyway, all right, so it's time for the draft. We don't have a high pick this year. Draft, we are picking 32nd. The mock draft has us taking who? Joe Patchy. Patchy? He wouldn't be bad. He's Can't turn the double play all that well, so he looks like a really solid glove first baseman, but a weird first baseman who doesn't hit for power. He wouldn't be a bad pick. Currently going to the University of Oregon. He's a Duck. What does the draft pool look like? A lot of good pitchers in this one as well. And I've noticed this a lot lately. A lot of 2.5 and 3-star pitchers. So, I mean, we can easily pick up a... look at, they're all in college, too. I don't know if that's intentional, but that's a ton of college pitching prospects. Wow. And then batters. Well, it looks like a pretty decent draft, actually. A lot of 2.5-star, 3-star type players. So let's get into the draft. Just get up to our pick. Knowing things and being able to handle player personalities is two separate issues, and teams have to pick which one they want to prioritize. What are we talking about? Oh, you're talking about the Giants. I haven't paid much attention to what's going on in in San Francisco, other than the fact that they're playing well. I don't know about Gabe Kapler. I mean, he seemed to do pretty well in Philadelphia, and that ended really quickly. But they've had some players. I mean, in typical Giants fashion, players overperforming. You have score all their runs via the home run. I mean, that's baseball, though. I mean, that's baseball this year. That's just sort of the way it goes. All right, so who do they think we should take? Alex Pretty, a center fielder out of Kent State. He's actually not bad. Really good contact, decent power. His eye could be better, but good avoid K. He probably a left fielder with those ratings, although his range is probably passable as a center fielder. Really good speed. So they think we should take Alex Pretty. So that's an option. We have a 3.5-star starting pitcher, Cademan Parker, pitching out of TCU. Home runs are useless when you can't hit the ball. This year, I don't know that that's reality. I mean, Major League OPS is like 710 this year. It's all about the home runs. Of course, and we were talking about this earlier. Yeah, Buster Posey found the fountain of youth. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he's just not ready to give up the job to Joey Bart just yet. So Cademan Parker, his stuff is as developed as it's going to get, as is his movement. His control still has some room for growth. 93 to 95, so he doesn't throw all that hard. He's got decent stamina. I mean, his slide, that's a wipeout slider. I mean, that's just a killer wipeout slider. So do we continue to just load up on pitching prospects? Random Task likes Parker. Most guys that rely on home runs strike out a lot. Well, yeah. You get the whole launch angle thing. I mean, players are going out of their way to sacrifice average for power. You know, they're willing to see a drop in average if it means they're going to hit more power, hit for more power. So I'm leaning towards Cademan Parker. What do you guys think? I know Task likes Parker, so the two players I'm looking at are Parker and the center fielder that they think we should go after, which was Alex Pretty. So those are the two players. Pretty isn't a bad. He's 22. But he's still got a lot. He's not. My issue with Pretty is that he's not that developed for a 22-year-old. So you guys are having a discussion over here. Who are we talking about? Willy Adames? He's played really, really well since going to Milwaukee. Yep, we're gonna take Caedmon Parker or Sademan. I don't know what it is. Let's go to our next pick. All right, so we got another 3-star starting pitcher here in Chad Horn, who I don't like all that much, but he's a ground ball pitcher who throws 98 to 100. That could be interesting. He's projects to have a really, really good fastball. Already has a good splitter. Let's look at batters. So yeah, that center fielder is gone. They now think we should take Joe Pesci, who they said we should have taken with our first pick initially. He's good with... Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that he wasn't good with Tampa. Tampa just has like 4 players that could play shortstop better than him. You know, I mean, you could say that they traded him because he wasn't hitting, but you could also say that they traded him because they had 3 players ready to go, who may be better. So they want us to take Pesci. He's 21 years old. He's a really undeveloped 21-year-old. Also can't, I mean, again, he's a first baseman, I think. That turn DP is going to keep him, keep him away from being a third baseman. We got Josh Peretti. He's not a very good catcher. I think I'm leaning towards Horn. I'm gravitating towards these. I mean, he's a ground ball pitcher who throws 98 to 100. He still has some room for growth, but a ground ball pitcher who can throw that hard. I mean, this is, if he can put a little bit more on his stuff, this is Tyler Glasnow. It's the same. Tampa Bay trades high performers all the time. Yeah, I mean, they have to, because they draw 12,000 people to every one of their games. I'm gonna take Chad Horn with our second pick. I like the extreme ground ball, and he's cheap, or the ground ball, and he's cheap. So we're gonna go there. Let's go to our next pick, and let's see what batters are remaining. Not much, but that is not surprising. I think we should take the catcher. Nervous about Horn's slider. Yeah, I mean, he only had, He had 2 really good pitches, and what am I doing? I want to look at the log. He had 2 really good pitches and the third that was a potential, right? I mean, I'm pretending the changeup doesn't exist, but a good fastball, good splitter. If the slider develops, he becomes a pretty good back of the rotation starter, maybe. If it doesn't develop, maybe he's a bullpen arm. He can get away with being a fastball splitter pitcher with 2 pitches if he throws that hard. So we'll start him off as a starter. We'll see if he can develop that slider. But at worst, he's a bullpen arm. Let me get back to the draft. So they want us to take Peretti. I don't really want to take him. I would almost rather take Mike Utley. He's no good. He has good speed. He's got good defensive ratings. He could be a backup middle infielder. I don't know that he's ever going to be anything more than that. Oof, this is an ugly draft. Let's do this. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to do this. This and this. Here you go. Devin Rycroft. So 1-star, 1.5-star pitcher. He's only 19, so he's still a ways away as a pitcher, but has some pretty good ratings as a batter. So I think that might be the pick. I've noticed gap implies that they'll reach their potential or exceed it. What do you mean? You mean that that if he has high gap power out of the box, that he'll reach his potential or exceed it? Is that what you mean? I think I'm going to take Rycroft, though. I think we've taken a couple of college players. I think we take a young pitcher and see a young pitcher, stick him in there as a two-way player and see if he develops. That's my plan. And we'll see if... Yeah, so he was gone, so now we are down to... They're probably going to want me to take... Nope, they want me to take Gavin Van Kempen. Terrible movement, fly ball pitcher. Not going to work in cores. Rycroft, yeah. Yandy Diaz only has one homer, but has contributed with getting on base and bringing in runs, and now you're done with the ear. I mean, I guess... I think there are players who bring value to the table that don't hit home runs. I think there are plenty of players who can, or don't hit a lot of home runs, who make their impact by getting on base, or, I look at someone like Alex Verdugo. And I'm going to stick to the Red Sox talk because that's what I know. Alex Verdugo may only hit 15 home runs this year, but he's getting on base at like a 380 clip. He is going to hit 300. He plays very, very good defense, and he's a very good base runner. So, yeah, I mean, however you get runs is how you get runs. Home runs is one way, and average and on-base percentage is another. I mean, the Red Sox have gone from have taken a complete 180 in that respect. I mean, they were one of the teams that sort of led Major League Baseball into the whole Moneyball era. And now they have a manager who's telling their players to be aggressive and swing the bat. And now they have one of the worst on-base percentages in the American League, yet they're still scoring runs because they smack the ball all over the park. All right, our next pick, Ivan Arias. Now, this I don't understand. You take someone like Ivan Arias, who is probably never going to turn into anything. I mean, his offense, his batting ratings are really bad. But he has really, really good defensive ratings. But he has no position, which is weird to me. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means... I'm getting sidetracked here. But no, I mean, there are players that, like, you look at someone like Joey Gallo, and you compare him to Stanton. Gallo, to me, is a more valuable player because he's really, really good he's really, really good in the outfield, whereas Stanton isn't. If somebody does nothing but hit home runs and hits $180, yeah, I mean, there's really limited value in that. But if someone hits 220 with 40 home runs but plays potentially Gold Glove outfield, I mean, there's value in that. I absolutely think there's value in that. There's also value in someone who hits 300 and plays elite level defense. All levels combined, view. No, I can't. Oh, maybe here. Nope, I can't. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand what that means. Does it mean that he'll never develop a position? Or does it mean, for whatever reason, they just didn't play? Yeah, that's what. Maybe he's their DH, which wouldn't make any sense given his infield ratings. But given that he's already, I don't know. I mean, he's got decent speed. He's got decent defensive ratings. I think I'm going to take. No, he's 22 though. I mean, I'm hemming and hawing about someone who's likely never to see the major leagues. Yeah, that's absolutely right, Jolly Roger. He's either injured or striking out. What do I want to look at? I saw somebody else do this today, and it's something I don't know why I never considered. But look at pitch potential. And if you can find somebody who's got, 2 or 3 really, really good pitches, you might be able to find yourself something. It's like Bobby Snodgrass. Potentially great fastball, potentially great changeup, ground ball pitcher. I could see someone like Bobby Snodgrass, sure. I don't mind that. Phil Hollister was another one. I don't know that control's ever going to develop, but 98 to 100. What's wrong with Preddy? suppose I should look and see who that is. Maybe I didn't even see him. Oh, Peretti, the catcher. There's nothing wrong with him. I don't know that he's ever going to get much better than what he's... I mean, a 29 contact, even if he improves that to 35, he's going to hit, 220. And he's... doesn't have a great arm. But I guess at this point, out of Vanderbilt, you can't go wrong with a Vanderbilt player, I guess. Go back to pitchers. I think I'm going to take Hollister because he already throws 98 to 100. Yeah, I mean, his catcher rating could improve, and his arm, I suppose, could get better. I don't, and it's never bad to have catching depth, I suppose. Oh, that was actually one thing I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at catchers, and I wanted to look at this. Are there any catchers that are... I was hoping maybe that there was a catcher that was already elite defensively that also had a halfway decent glove or decent bat, but it doesn't look to be the case. All right, I'm almost done with this draft, I think. I want to get on to seeing what we can do to improve the team this year. I'm going to take Hollister because he's got that 98 to 100 and already has an 92 fastball. All right. When I am looking at stats for in real life hitters, what do you value most? Are you asking you said in real life. In real life, I think OPS is a good number to have. Is a good number to base it on because again, it's you can be a high OPS guy and a low on base guy. You can be a high OPS guy and a low slugging guy. So I think OPS is a good number to look at because it shows you that they're getting it done either way. And you can be a high on base guy with a good on base percent or with a good OPS who doesn't hit for much power, or you can be a power hitter who doesn't have a high average. If I had to pick one, I'm going to let the AI complete the draft. If I had to pick one, I would probably pick on base percentage. To me, getting on base is the single most important thing that you can do as a batter. And getting on base with a single is more valuable than striking out. I don't find batting average to be all that important. I would rather have a guy who hits 250 who has a 380 on base percentage than a guy who hits 300 who has a 330 on base percentage. That's just, that's my money ball. That's my Moneyball outlook. Guys, give me a second. I'm going to grab some water. I'll be right back. I'm just going. I have a water cooler in my office, so I'm going to go right over there. Hat's going to come off. All right. So we are through the draft, and we're going to take a second. We're going to look at the team and figure out what we need to do to try to improve things here in the second half. OPS plus if we're allowing weighted stats, otherwise regular OPS. So you and I are in the same boat there. If we had to pick one, it would be OPS, yes. Negotiate. So we got a lot of players who don't want any money, which is nice. That worries me that Parker only wants $440,000 and he's a 3.5-star starting pitcher, but we'll cross that bridge, I guess. All right. Okay, so what do we need? What do we need, guys? Offensively, things look fine. Joe Adell, Joey Gallo aren't hitting all that well, but they're both providing power, so I don't think there's really any need to do anything offensively. I think we have the proper depth. Jamison Hanna isn't hitting this year, but defensively, he's a good backup fourth outfielder. Apostle, Adamons are, yeah, I mean, I think we're good offensively across the board. The question is, what do we want to do, if anything, to our pitching staff? So Glasnow has settled down. It looks like he's going to end up with an ERA close, really, to what he had last year, which is just crazy. But he had put up an 8.14 ERA in 6 starts in April, 6.07 in May, 3.03 in June, 2.38 through 2 starts in July. So he's settled down. He still only has 4 wins in 18 starts. Had 17 wins a year ago, but he's settled down a bit. Same with Justin Dunn. Just an atrocious April. Really good May. Not a terrible June. Wasn't great, but wasn't bad. And then 2 good starts in July. So Dunn and Glasnow have settled down a bit. Schmidt has been fantastic all year long. No need to worry there. Jack Leiter has not been fantastic. 97 hits, 30 walks, 5.9 ERA. He's 3 walks per 9 is fine, I guess. I mean, even his home runs per 9 is fine. Only 1.3. He's just, I don't know what the issue is here. He's only given up a 276 opponent bat. Is he giving up a lot of extra base hits? What do I want to look at? Opponent batting stats. So he's given up 25 doubles. I mean, he's given up a 474 slugging. So that's the issue right there. He's just giving up too many extra base hits. 814 OPS. All right. I don't know what I can do to control that. I don't know that there's anything I can do to control that. I think Ks per 9 are less important now than they were a decade ago. I mean, everybody is striking out 11 or 12, batters per 9 innings at this point. It's just the nature of the game. I think home runs per 9 is probably a more important number right now than Ks per 9 is, given the style of game. At least that's my opinion. You guys could completely disagree with me. I mean, I hate to say this, but I think it's bullpen. I think it's what do we do to improve the bullpen? And we've got some internal options, but Denny's not coming up. He's not ready. I don't know that Hamilton or Kostichak or Spencer Miles or Lamelli are better than what we have up here already. So, and I don't think we have a ton of money. I think we have a little. We had like $4 million or something. Yeah, we have less than that now. We have $3.8 million now. All right, well, let's look at the trade block. Mitch Keller's on here. God, I spent like an hour trying to see if there was some way that I could I can help Leiter control extra base hits by moving the team out of Colorado. Yes. And this is going to forever haunt me. So in our first season, we were looking to trade German Marquez, and we had 2 offers that were straight up for Marquez. One was Josh Naylor, and the other was Mitch Keller. And I made the decision to pick up Josh Naylor. And, we ended up moving Naylor for a bullpen piece who's been really good. But look at Mitch Keller. Look at these ratings. And this is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Since he landed in Toronto, he's been just a monster. Anyway, we won't be able to pick him up. Luzardo and Zach Gallen. Both of these guys are cheap. I mean, we could pick both of these guys up, potentially, if we could. Let's see. What would it take? So you want Justin Dunn for Jesus Luzardo. I don't want to give you Justin Dunn. Let's look, and this is why we have the depth that we have in our minor league system. So let's figure out a way to make this work. We got a lot of people that are hurt. Look at that. Start with Hunter Barco. It's probably not going to perfectly awful. Right. Okay. It's fine. You look for that player that moves the needle just a little bit, and then you can kind of go from there. Wow. Okay, so that doesn't move the needle at all. That's interesting. All right. I don't know if because I guess Denny, Jones, Lito, these like none of these guys are touchable. Carter Smith. I don't want to move him. I get so hung up on my look at Keller's scouting reports. I get so hung up on my own prospects. What am I doing? Trading block. Yeah, I mean, look at it in 2022. He skyrocketed. His ratings just skyrocketed. Wow, he added a cutter to his repertoire at age 27. He got good in 2022, which was in between the year he went from Pittsburgh to Toronto. He developed his slider in his year 27 season, or the cutter rather. So he developed a pitch that now is an 80 rating. Good for him. All right, so Luzardo it looks like is probably off the table. What about Gallen? And he's not making any money at all. That's nuts. So same deal, but what happens if we do that? Okay, well, then I'm not trading for either Gallen or Luzardo, I don't think. I don't know that they are upgrades enough to give up. I mean, Colorado can't. Well, give me money then. So it would take Adele and Dunn to get Keller. I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. There's no way he would have had that improvement if he was on. You're probably right. I mean, Colorado is where, pitchers go to die. But we can improve the pitching staff somehow. Tony Gonsolin, I mean, he looks to be pretty good. He's 4 stars, but he is just a reliever that you got for nothing. All right, so you want one of my best, but you can't have one of my best players. But I can start by giving you a pitcher that has been terrible and I no longer want. I can start with Logan Webb. So he's still weighing the pros and cons of this. Can we just make it happen? No. All right, but that's fine. So that's something. We can start with that. And submit the offer. Okay, we'll submit the offer and see what they say. So question, I guess, any player is... Yeah, Jolly Roger, that's exactly how, what Random Task said. There are literally random talent bumps to players. So you can have players that were drafted in the 30th round who... you can start up one season and all of a sudden they're a 5-star player. It doesn't happen very often, but it happens enough that it keeps it realistic. You don't have to worry, or you don't have to... I mean, you can go through the entire draft if you want and try to find, the best player for every pick, but it's entirely possible that somebody you draft in round 25 can end up being the best player in your draft. And it also could be possible that your number 1 pick can flame out. It's not glitchy, Jolly Roger. In Out of the Park Baseball, it's not glitchy. It's intentional. But it happens infrequently enough that the intentionality of it is nice. You like to see it. All right, so let's sim ahead a day and see what Arizona tells us about that deal. The trade offer has expired, and we lost again. So it's back-to-back 2-1 losses. Why did the trade offer expire? All right, well, that's no good. So we've just lost 2 in a row to the Mets, who are well, granted, they're 46 and 44, but they're in last place. So we still have the wild card, but we are 3-7 in our last 10. And now we have the Dodgers that we have to take on. So we got 3 games in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. Let's hopefully we can take 1 out of 3 and not get swept this time. Let's see. 5-4 loss. Ugh, man. So it's 4 losses in a row, 5 losses in a row. So we are 3-10 in July. I forgot to look at player development from July. I don't know why I didn't do this, but I didn't do this. So we're going to do it now. A lot of development from our young players. June Batter of the Month, Brandon Marsh. Zach Veen won the Batter of the Month in the National League. Johan Oviedo, Pitcher of the Month. Clayton Kershaw. George Valera. And Sam Wesniak wins the NL Rookie of the Month. Camden Parker. Okay, so he's got to start probably in Double-A with those ratings. Let's disable that. Ugh, shoot. Okay, so if a pitcher picks up a pitch, they're about to get a huge bump. Yeah, Jolly Roger, there aren't enough players that there aren't I mean, there are players that will show up. In my Red Sox save, I have an outfielder who has, and I play on 1 to 100, who has over 90 ratings in all offensive categories. In all of his batting stats, he's over a 90. So you do get players who are like ridiculously good, but it's not a bug. It's the random development in the game that allows them to be that good. So yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a player bug that you couldn't say was just development, because it doesn't happen enough for it to be a bug. So yeah, some of the players just develop on their own, and some develop late, like this guy. Actually, he was a first-round pick. I want to find an example of a player for you who wasn't very good and turned into, I wouldn't even know where to begin looking. But at any rate, yeah, the development, it's something that they've always done in their game, where players can develop from the very end of the draft. So, all right, so this isn't good. So we've lost a ton of games in a row. We are 3-10 in July. The offense is still plugging away. I don't know what's going on with that trade. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. So let's try this again. Logan Webb. Come on. Let's sim ahead another day. Hey, we win. All right, so now we get it. Okay, this is what I was waiting for. I was waiting for the almost with a list of 1- and 2-star players, which is what we got here. So David Alvarez is a 1-star player. Sure, you want David Alvarez to make this deal happen? You can have David Alvarez. Where is he? Right there. Perfect. Submit the offer. And Gonsolin, I think, is a free agent after this year, but that's fine. So was Webb. All right, so we finally win one. We win 4-2. Jack Leiter goes 5 1/3, gives up 1 run. Romo and Wesniak homer. All right. So we finally win one. That's nice. Another game against Arizona. And another victory. All right. So they are going to take this trade. So we're going to send Hunter Barco, Logan Webb, and David Alvarez to the Diamondbacks, getting Tony Gonsolin. Complete that trade. Put Gonsolin on the big league roster. And oh, he's actually ARB eligible, so we actually still have him. Great. And he's actually been pretty good this year. For us, though, he's going to be a middle reliever. All right, so what's next? What is next? Because we can't... Like, we could probably put something together to get Luzardo or Gallen, but I don't know that I want to, especially with them both being free agents. 2025, yeah. I mean, they're both free agents. Glasnow is going to be a power sinker guy, then Tampa got a hold of him. I don't know what Tampa does, but it seems to work, which is why I'm perfectly content with the Red Sox GM, because Chaim Bloom has shown that he can do it. So, do we want to continue? I don't want to continue to go after relievers. I'd rather. The issue is this. Here's my problem, is that we get smoked by the Dodgers every time we play them. So I don't want to pick up someone like Gallen or Luzardo and give up a ton in return, and not not be able to get past him in the postseason. So that's kind of the issue I'm having here. I don't want to give up Justin Dunn. He's locked into a solid contract, and I don't want to give up any of our top prospects, which now includes, say, Caedmon, I'm assuming. Caedmon Parker. Okay, so they will take Denny. I mean, I would give up Mondesi in a cocaine heartbeat, but I don't have anybody to play shortstop if I do. Because it's not about the offense, it's about the defense. I mean, that being said, he's been very, very good offensively, but he's been very good defensively too. And I don't have anybody to play short if we do that. I mean, do we move? See, this is flying in the face of what am I doing with Mondesi? What do you mean, what am I doing with Mondesi? They wanted him as part of a deal for Zach Gallen. I suppose I could go completely against what I wanted to do with my team and hurt myself defensively and move McKinstry to short, but I don't know that I want to do that. What am I doing with him long term, you mean? He's got one more year after this at a team option for $7 million. We signed him to a 3-year, $21 million contract. So $7 million team option for what he's given us is an absolute bargain. Yeah, I guess my issue with that is, who do I replace him with? If I move Mondesi, then McKinstry has to become my shortstop. And he hasn't been great when we've done that. Last year he was pretty good. He was negative 2.1 zone rating in 2023. 2022, well, I guess he has been average at shortstop. Going back and looking at this, we could make McKinstry our shortstop, put Janau at second, and just call it a day. Let's see what that does to the deal, or what that what else they would ask for if we did that. Where is he? Yeah, I mean, we could make it happen probably pretty easily. What about if we went to Oakland about Luzardo? Does that... it's fine. I would eat his contract. Come on. Ugh. Okay. Is there a defensive shortstop on waivers? Has he been heating up or cooling off? Mondesi, I think, has been pretty consistent all year long. 296, 327, 340, 283. So this is his worst month. But even this month, 283, he's put up an 824 OPS. So offensively, he's been pretty consistent all year long. I mean, we could pick up Luzardo or... I could make it work. We could pick up Luzardo or Gallen pretty easily. Waiver wire, no. We got Jock Peterson and Mike Tauchman. There are no free agents and trade block. Nick Ahmed. We could try to pick up Nick Ahmed, who we get back in 2 or 3 weeks. That might be a move. So let's see if we can pick up Nick Ahmed from... See what it take to get Nick Ahmed. So we could give up Alex Freeland, or I could probably make this work. I could probably get Ahmed from Milwaukee and then get either Gallen or Luzardo for Mondesi. So the question is, Gallen or Luzardo. So Gallen, compare, no. Luzardo. Pitching ratings. So these are the two pitchers. And I could probably, like I said, probably make a move to get Ahmed and just plug him in at short. So Gallen is 2 years older, better stuff. Luzardo has better movement. They're both neutral. And it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, really. Luzardo has 375 plus pitches. Gallen has a 100 changeup. So Gallen has the better stuff. Luzardo is probably the better pitcher. What do you think, guys? Neither. Their contracts are up after this year. Both of them. I think, yeah. 2025 for Gallen, and Luzardo is 2025, yeah. So they're both 2025. So we will likely lose whichever one we trade for after this season, unless we make a decision to move on from like Joey Gallo or something like that. How do you compare players? You just go up here to actions, and there's a compare player button, and then you can switch between recently visited players or players you have shortlisted. So I don't know. I think, like I said, I think Gallen's probably the better thrower, and Luzardo is probably the better pitcher. So against righties, 72, 44, 61. He's better against... Yeah, I mean, Luzardo is probably the more consistent. Luzardo's probably the more consistent. Gallen will probably give me more peaks and valleys. You know, I could easily see more, 8-inning, 12 strikeout games out of Gallen, but I could also see 3 innings and 5 runs. I think Luzardo is the kind of pitcher where you can probably get 6 and 3 in a lot of starts. All right, so let's see what it would take to pry Luzardo away from Oakland. So we'll start with Mondesi, and then, all right, I gotta eat. I guess I can just give you cash here. Have $2 million. So if we just click make it work, they want Tommy Doyle, who's been one of our only good relievers this year. And a bunch of players I'm not willing to give up. So, but they do. But I can submit the offer. So sometimes if you submit the offer, you'll get lesser players to close the deal. So we'll do that, and then we will go to Milwaukee and see what we need to do to pick up Nick Ahmed. And I think here we'll just try to throw some prospects at them and see what they say. Yeah, so we'll start with that. We will start with that and see what they come back and say. So let's go ahead and sim ahead a day. See what happens. So we lose 6-5 and 10. Duplantier got picked up the loss. That sucks. It runs in 9th and the 10th. All right, so both of them were almost. So what do we need here? So they want Vladimir Lopez, Willie Acevedo. So they want a legit player to close this down. That's fine. What about... Oh, come on. Why does anybody know why it does that? Why why the deals just get shut down like that? All right, so let's go back in here. Nick Ahmed for Amador and... You want Yanquiel Fernandez? Here, let's try that. And then let's go back here. I actually would probably be okay giving up Vladimir Lopez. The fly ball pitcher with 36 movement. Yes, he's pitched well in A-ball, but a 21-year-old with 36 movement and as a fly ball pitcher... Let's discuss it again. So at least we know that we can make this happen. But I would rather give you somebody else, if you'll take somebody else. Would you take a Diego Ortiz? Ah, there we go. Perfect. Alfonso Rivas, Diego Ortiz, and Adalberto Mondesi to the Oakland A's for Jesus Luzardo. What do you think? I think I pulled the trigger, right? I think that feels like a good deal. And then we will be without Ahmed for a while as he's hurt, but we can get by for a couple of weeks. Yeah, I think that's a deal. I think we pull the trigger here and pick up Jesus Luzardo. All right, so they don't like the fact that we gave up Mondesi. That's fine. But we pick up a much better starting pitcher, and who gets sent to the minors. I mean, look at our bullpen. I mean, really, our bullpen has pitched pretty well. I think maybe we send... His ratings have gotten so good, though. Do I go with a 6-man rotation? Like, is that crazy to go with a 6-man rotation? Try to add an 18-year-old. Oh, I missed it. Sorry, I missed that side of it. What do I do here though? So now we have this embarrassment of riches where we've got Jesus Luzardo. Do I send Guest back down? I mean, he hasn't been great. Do I just let him finish the year in AAA? I think from a realism standpoint, I think that makes the most sense. He hasn't pitched all that well. Yeah, I wasn't going to do a 6-man rotation. And all of my relievers are going to require waivers. Although, I mean, do I care about someone like John Duplantier? Because, I mean, I think at this point I would stick lighter or Guess in the bullpen in place of Duplantier. So Duplantier, I mean, he's given me over a WAR out of the bullpen. Guess FIP. I guess I should do it like this, where it's actually listed. Where is he? 4.25. Yeah, the FIPS for all of my pitchers are manageable. I mean, he's 4.25. Leiter's 4.21. 4.5 out of Glasnow. 4.3 out of Dunn. I think maybe I just send Jackson Bennett back down. I think that makes the most sense. We called him up. I mean, he's been fine, but I think he probably makes the most sense. I guess I don't have to make a decision today because we still have to wait for the Ahmed trade. But it's going to come down to who moves into the rotation. Who do I move him into the rotation for? Leiter or Guess? So if we do that, I mean, he's really good, but so is Leiter. I'm going to stick with Leiter just because he's got the experience, and I'm going to try to play this from a realism standpoint. So we're going to move Leiter into the rotation. We're going to move Luzardo into the rotation, keep Leiter, put Guess in the bullpen, and once we finish the deal for Ahmed, we'll probably send Jackson Bennett down. I think that's probably what I'm going to do, and if I have to make any further moves, I can. So we're going to have to play this game with probably McKinstry at short against Cincinnati. So let's see what happens. We win 8-5. Oh, Joe Adell gets knocked out for 3 weeks. So we win 8-5 here. Who got the start? Dunn got the start. Struck out 12 in 5 1/3 innings. Adell homers and goes down he had his best game in a while and goes down for 3 weeks. All right. So injury bug hits us in late July. What am I doing? Injury list. Move Adell to the injury list. And we need to call somebody up. We have all of these veterans that I signed to contracts in the offseason. So we're going to call up Mark Canha or Adam Engel. Call up Engel? No, we're not going to call up Engel. We're going to call up Canha because we're going to put Jamison Hanna in center field. And that trade is still not happening. So because we haven't gotten through the day. So let's get through the day, see if they give us an answer. Almost. There we go. Eric McKnight. That'll work. So Adiel Amador, Yanquiel Fernandez, and Eric McKnight for Nick Ahmed, who's also a free agent at the end of this year, but that's fine. They got anybody at AA they want to give us? No, I'm not even going to deal with it. I just want to get Ahmed on the roster, and he's out for how much longer? 2 weeks. Okay, so we're going to submit the offer. And so for the next couple weeks, we're going to have to play with McKinstry at short. What just happened? McKinstry's going to have to play short. And Hanau is going to play second. And we're going to switch the lineup up a little bit. We'll move Romo up. Against lefties, same deal. We got a lot of left-handed hitters on our team, man. That's okay, though. Because I think Ahmed is a righty, so that will help to clear that up. Yeah, right. Like, this is where, it's not real life. Like, Ben Guess isn't going to, he's not going to retire because I sent him down to AAA, but I think we'll leave him in the bullpen for now. So, all right. So we will get Ahmed here in a second. We'll put him on the DL for a week and a half. All right, let's complete the deal. And Ahmed is going to go on the injured list. We lost again. Has not been a good month. 6-12. 6-12. All right, let's get through the rest of this month because we're closing in on 3 hours. So, final game against Cincinnati. It's a 6-5 win. Leiter went 5. Doyle, of course, 7 walks for Leiter. Gonsolin picked up his first win. Ramirez homers. Okay. So now we have Atlanta, who is, I think, towards the top. It's Atlanta. Yeah, 61 and 38. All right, we have the last wild card spot. We're 3 games up on Thankfully, the 2 teams behind us have been even worse than us. Miami and Washington have been even worse than us. All right, let's keep going. Got a day off. And then Atlanta, Chicago, Pittsburgh. Oh, 9-1 loss. 3-2 loss. Oh, you're killing me. An 8-7 loss. And we're still 2 games up in the wild card because the 2 teams behind us have been even worse. How did Luzardo do in his first start? 2 earned runs in 6 innings and got the loss. Of course. Oh, man, this has been a painful season to grind through. Painful season. All right, so we got 3 in Chicago. Finally, an 8-2 win. Good game from McKinstry. Apostle had 3 hits. Hannah had 3 hits. Schmidt picks up his 11th win of the year. That's good. Can we beat Chicago again? Nope. And 3rd game of the series in Chicago against the Cubs. Wow. There are no words. I mean, we went from 18-7 in June to 8-17 in July. You see my problem? What's my problem? But see, that's the thing. Like, I noticed that too. But defensively, we haven't been. I mean, Hanau's been terrible, but he wasn't playing every day. At least until recently. Veen has been relatively bad, but that's been about it. Ramirez has been slightly below average. McKinstry's been awesome. Gallo's been really good. And I know it's not just all about zone rating, but I don't know. I don't know where the numbers are coming from. Like, I don't know how to improve my defensive efficiency. I would assume that a number of 1,000, as it were, is considered average. So I don't know what I would do. Like, I don't know how to improve this. I don't have any idea. Yeah, Gallo's fine in right field. I mean, he's literally, doesn't commit many errors, has a lot of assists, has a decent zone rating, which means he, in theory, gets to a lot of balls. All right, let's see if we can do something here against Pittsburgh. We win. We give up 9 runs, but we win. That's a crazy game. Luzardo doesn't make it through 4, gives up 10 hits. Okay. McKinstry homers twice. I'm sure a lot of it is ballpark factor because we're playing in Colorado. But and I'm willing to accept the fact that I'm never going to have great pitching performances for the most part with my pitching staff. The chances of us having a sub-3 ERA 20-game winner is probably unrealistic. But I don't know. Like, I look at this and I say, all right, so we have starters ERA of 4.76, which in Colorado feels like a manageable number. But we're 15th in the league. Our bullpen is 14th. So we've actually taken a step backwards this year, even though we invested a ton of money into Edwin Diaz and Sir Anthony Dominguez. So our bullpen's taken a step backwards, and our rotation is actually taking a step backwards. So I don't know. Let's play the second game. There we go. It's another 6-4, a 6-4 win in 12. Got a walk-off. Joey Gallo, 2-run home run walk-off in the bottom of the 12th. Hannah homers, Veen homers. Dunn doesn't pitch badly, Guest blows the save. Game doesn't go to extra innings if Guest doesn't blow the save. Gonsolin's been pretty good since we picked him up. 6 innings, 7 2/3, 9 strikeouts, so he's been fine. All right, can we sweep the 3-game series? I just want to get to August 1st, and then we'll look at stats, and then that's going to be, with the deadline coming up, you've got to do something about it or sell off expiring. I'm not gonna win the division, and we lose Jamison Hanna for 2 weeks. Great. So Adele and Hanna are both out now. Our 2 center fielders. What do we do? Do we go with the veteran Adam Engel, or do we just throw Drew Jones in the fire? I mean, defensively, he can handle it. Might want to look at the trade block and search for good defensive efficiency. Yeah, we can do that. It's all catchers. It's a position I'm not going to replace. Yeah, it's all catchers. And our catcher had a really bad defensive efficiency. So but see, that again, that doesn't make sense. Because you look at Drew Romo, and I mean, that's about as good as you're going to get. I would only call Jones up until we got Adele and Hanna back, which was like 2 weeks. They're both back in, like Adele's back in 1 to 2 weeks, and Hanna's back in 2 weeks. So it would only be 2 weeks. Isaiah Kiner Falefa. I don't know that I can afford him. What was Ahmed? Let's look at Nick Ahmed. It's probably something I should have looked at. Has he been out all year? Yeah, he's been out all year. I mean, his defensive efficiency has trended positive, so I'm comfortable that he's going to make an impact defensively at short. Defensive efficiency isn't effective for catchers. I mean, I could pick up someone like Falefa if they wanted to eat the entirety of the contract. Well, he's getting paid through next year, too. Oops, what did I do? Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Of course I did. I mean, this isn't going to happen. I mean, we could pick him up and he could be our backup infielder, but I mean, we could pick him up as our backup infielder and send down Amador. What would it take? Again, I don't want to give up of anything of real value. I want to kind of stick to my plan here. We have so many good prospects that I want to just let them develop. But I am willing to part with, specific players. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. I'm just trying to find. Okay. So that moves the needle a little bit. But again, I don't want to give up Freeland for him. Man, I've been going for almost 3 hours already. That's crazy. Tadlock. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stick with what we have. We get Ahmed back in like a week. We are going to get Adele and Hanna back shortly. So I think... Question, though, is what do we do for the next couple weeks? We call up Adam Engel, or do we call up Drew Jones for 2 weeks? I kind of like the idea of calling up Jones for 2 weeks just because of his defense. I could bat him. What about Acevedo? Yeah, you're right. I mean, I had been talking about using Acevedo as trade bait, And this seems like as good a time as any to do it, right? He's not hitting an A ball. Again, I don't think that contact is ever going to hit enough. They're going to eat the entirety of his contract. He becomes a great backup infielder, and we don't have to pay him a dime. What do you think? Do I pull the trigger here? I had talked multiple times about trading Acevedo to make our team better as a prospect I was willing to give up. So they'll do it. They'll do it straight up. I still want this guy. You probably still won't give him to me. Yeah. I don't know that I'm better at this game than you are. But I'm going to do it. I had been talking about moving on from Acevedo. He's going to be, Falefa's going to be a better defensive infielder. We're going to have to waive Adamon, which is fine. Designate, call up Kiner Falefa. We can immediately move him to second for Hanoa until we get Ahmed back. And I think I'm going to call up Drew Jones as well. It is going to burn a year of his arb clock, but we're going to stick him in center field, bat him eighth, and just let him get a couple weeks in under his belt. I'm not all that concerned about his contract clock. I got to make some changes here. This is something apparently I forgot to mess with. McKinstry in at short. And Kiner Falefa in at second. And against lefties, of course. I'm starting to get tired. Okay. There's that. Get him batting ninth. Get McKinstry in there at short. Get Kiner Falefa in there at second, and that immediately improves our infield defense. And it's going to get even better once we get Ahmed back in 2 days. We'll make him our starting shortstop. McKinstry will be our starting second baseman, and then we have Kiner Falefa to back up at all of our infield positions. We can hang on to Hanoa as strictly an offensive player on the bench. Drew Jones, even if he doesn't hit, as long as he can play defense in the outfield for the next 2 weeks, we'll get Joe Adell back, and we should be good. Yeah, lose is an option. That's what I meant. Not his clock. But yeah, lose is an option, which really shouldn't matter because once he's up next year for good, he'll be up. And yeah, random task. I'm not worried about that. It's going to be 2 weeks before we send him back down. All right, so that is the final deal. So we made 3 deals. Picked up Jesus Luzardo, 4 deals. Picked up Jesus Luzardo, Tony Gonsolin, Isaiah Kiner Falefa, and Nick Ahmed. Hopefully that'll help. We also get Enrique Hernandez back in a week. I didn't even think about Kike. And he is a left-handed bat for us. We'll have to figure out what to do. I don't know what we're going to do when we get him back. So we had a lot of people coming back in a week. So let's play this last game and then look at our team stats, and then I can go to bed. We're 59 and 49, 59 and 50 going into August. We finished 11 and 18 in July. We were 35 and 19 between May and June, but July was just a terrible, terrible month for us. Pitching stats. Clark Schmidt has really been our only consistent pitcher all year. Justin Dunn and Tyler Glasnow have bounced back nicely from absolutely horrific starts. They were 0-7 between the two of them in April, so since then they've gone 11-7, so that works. Jack Leiter hasn't been very good. Jesus Luzardo in his 2 starts with us hasn't been very good. We have gotten some good bullpen performances. I mean, Edwin Diaz has been really good. Jackson Bennett in limited time has been good. Tony Gonsolin with us has been good. We've looked at his numbers already. Yeah, and WAR is a little misleading in Colorado. We get it's a lot of super high WAR numbers in Colorado. I don't know why. I'm sure somebody can explain it to me, but I'm not smart enough to understand that. We called up our prize prospect, Ben Guess. Hasn't pitched all that well so far, so he will likely be going down to the minors once. Actually, we're going to probably do that now that we get Ahmed back. Oh, no, that wasn't what I was going to do. That wasn't what I was going to do at all. I was going to send the one pitcher who's been pitching well down, which was Jackson Bennett. And we were going to call up Nick Ahmed, and I'll deal with the lineup offline. I don't have the patience for that right now. Batting stats, our offense continues to be fantastic. We have the top offense in the National League. Sam Wesniak is a rookie, still putting up over 1,000 OPS, on pace for 37 home runs, 406 on base percentage, 6 WAR. So we made the right move moving on from Naylor, that's for sure. Pitching WAR is FIP-based and out-of-the-park baseball. Okay, well, that would explain why a lot of my players have got high WARs, because they've got FIPs that are significantly lower than what their batting average looks like. So, Niu354, thanks for dropping a follow on the GM Games channel. Guys, if you haven't already, I know a lot of you are already members of their Discord as well, but if you like this sort of content, go hop on to their Discord. They post a lot of stuff from people just like me, which are basically small streamers or small content creators that are looking to kind of get their stuff out there. And they were gracious enough to give me a platform, so I want to give them kudos for that. And then for the last time, I'm going to pop this in chat. This is a link to my YouTube channel. So again, I think most of you who are here are already subscribers to my YouTube channel. But if you're not, you can hop over there and drop me a subscribe. I would appreciate it. So Jose Ramirez started to come around a bit. You know, it's not going to come anywhere close to his MVP season, but still a pretty good year. Zach McKinstry's having a really nice season. So is Zach Veen. Drew Romo, the offense has come along. So offensively, we're fine. I just have to hope that our pitching staff, did they really censor it? That's outstanding. Anyway, just go to YouTube and search Around the World Sports. It comes up. So yeah, that's wonderful. I gotta get Chris to give me the ability to put links in chat. That's really funny. But yeah, that's what it is at on YouTube, Around the World Sports. That would be great. So yeah, I gotta hope our pitching staff kind of holds together here. They've got a lot of talent. I just can't seem to get it all right at once. So that's gonna do it here, guys. I think I'm gonna be doing my the next video for this. I'll be posting Wednesday. So I got a couple of days here to ruminate on the disaster that is the Colorado Rockies pitching, and hope that we can sneak into the postseason and see what happens. So appreciate you coming and hanging out, guys. It was a fun 3 hours again. I don't know if I'm going to be doing this again next Sunday. It is Father's Day, and I look to have my family worship me next Sunday, so I don't know if that's going to work out, but I will. I'll probably post something in Discord. And then I will post something on my channel throughout the week if I do plan on streaming again next Sunday. But if I don't do it next Sunday, I will do it the Sunday after. So I'll let everybody know. As always, guys, I appreciate you coming and hanging out, and we'll talk to everybody soon. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your weekend. Bye, guys.